to join me. Fox World Travel has created an incredible 3-island itinerary, which includes Oahu, the big islands of Hawaii and Maui. We'll visit Pearl Harbor, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, and a Kona coffee plantation. And you know how much I love coffee. We'll enjoy a luau on the Big Island, visit the Maui Aquatic Center. It's an active itinerary, but includes plenty of free time, too. My wife, Kathy, and I would love to have you join us on this WTMJ listener trip. By the way, P.S., I'm planning a unique way to commemorate this accomplishment. More details on that soon. To get more information or make a reservation, join me and my wife, Kathy. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Don't miss out on the early booking discount. Best of Hawaii. Join us with Steve Scafidi, Kathy Scafidi, Rose Gray. Call today.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Your family, your memories, our priority. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
The Brewers are back in town for the other I-94 series.
Contreras fly ball deep right field. This is way, way back. Watch this baby fly. Goodbye.
Our coverage against the Twins starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up on your home for the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story assessing the destruction in Dodge County.
I'm Julia Fellow. Big and beautiful bottoms out.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have a crash to start things off. 94 eastbound, right at the ramp from Highway F in Waukesha County. The left shoulder is blocked, so that's something to keep in mind if you're heading through there. Northbound 41, slowing from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Hampton. Southbound's backed up from Good Hope Road all the way past Capitol Drive. And southbound 43, watch for delays from just before Capitol Drive, pretty much all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a chance for rain mainly north. It's going to be windy, a low of 52. Tomorrow, slight chance for showers, a high of 64 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, cleanup efforts continue in Dodge, Columbia, and Fond du Lac counties following a spat of spring storms yesterday. Among those helping to assess the damage, National Weather Service meteorologist Tim Halbach. He's in Juneau this afternoon and tells us.
Started in Juneau. There's a number of houses that had their roofs either completely gone or partially gone. And then going east of there, there was a facility that took some pretty strong damage there too. I guess what's standing out is just the number of structures that actually took damage.
Halbach says they believe at least 2 tornadoes touched down, but until all the analysis is finished, they won't rule out at least one other.
A man from Mayville watched the tornado hit his neighbor's properties. Todd Bleeker tells WTMJ that he and his son were outside when they noticed something eerie.
When I saw the sky kind of change to a greenish color, I told my son, I was like, we got to go inside because I've only ever seen one other tornado in person, and the sky kind of turns like a greenish kind of weird color. So we went inside, and then my son said that he saw debris. That was when I looked out the window and we could see it going across the backside of my property. It went across the fields.
He says he saw the tornado hit his neighbor's house and another neighbor's barn. Bleeker says his neighbors are okay, but one of the homes looks to be a total loss.
Congress will regroup and once again try to pass a federal budget. This after the bill championed by President Trump failed to advance through committee this morning.
Several Republicans say the big, beautiful bill still needs work. 5 of them voted against advancing the measure in the House Budget Committee. South Carolina's Ralph Norman says it doesn't cut enough.
I'm tired of smoking mirrors.
Further complicating matters for House Speaker Mike Johnson, GOP moderates opposed the bill, saying it doesn't do enough to restore the state and local tax deduction. Facing a self-imposed Memorial Day deadline for passage in the House, Johnson will need to achieve near unanimity in his conference to get the measure into the Senate. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Optimism at an all-time high at Milwaukee's higher education institutions with graduation season upon us.
It's a big weekend for students at MSOE as seniors get ready to walk the stage and close a major chapter in their lives.
The character building, although it's not fun in the moment, the endurance, the study habits, the critical thought, all these different types of disciplines really help when it comes to anything.
MSOE senior Billy Lovell.
I appreciate it because for people who want to come here to work, to learn, and to be better in the 4 years, it's a great place. And my dad always told me you either pay in the front end or the back end. And so this is one of those places that you invest heavily in your first 4 years.
A proud ending to one chapter and the start of something even bigger. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
UW Milwaukee is also set to host its graduation ceremonies this weekend.
Coming up, another food maker sued over alleged false advertising.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:04.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough nose and throat evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:06.
Breakfast cereals billed as healthy, but that contain dyes and artificial ingredients are part of a lawsuit against General Mills filed by a Texas attorney. News Nation's Xavier Walton.
What he's saying is he wants General Mills to sell its products without the food dyes, without the additives. Here's a statement in part reading, saying he is proud to stand with the Trump administration and Secretary Kennedy in taking on petroleum-based synthetic dyes. So he is taking a page out of RFK Jr.'s book, so to speak. Under his leadership, RFK Jr. with HHS and the FDA have said that they are at least taking steps to ban food additives and also synthetic dyes in our food supply by the end of 2026.
The lawsuit accuses General Mills of illegally representing some of its most popular cereals, including Trix and Lucky Charms, as healthy.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. It's game night at American Family Field. The Brewers hosting the Minnesota Twins for the first of a 3-game series tonight. Coverage on WTMJ starts with Brewers warm-up right after the 6 o'clock news. In the NBA, a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals is on the line tonight for the New York Knicks. The Knicks can close out the defending champion Boston Celtics with a win at Madison Square Garden. If the Knicks win tonight, they'll take on the Indiana Pacers in the next round.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:08.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by ESPN's Dave McMenamin. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, if you got hit by some of that hail in yesterday's storms, you need to have somebody look at your roof. Now may be the time to get it replaced. Your insurance company will do it for you. I know the greatest company that helps with the insurance company and does the greatest roofing in our area. It's Loyal Family Renovations. Get in touch with the team that did my roof this spring. Loyal Family Renovations. Your family's home is their top priority. They will come out and do an evaluation. They'll see things that you would never be able to see, and they'll help you navigate the insurance part. I trust them. Loyal Family Renovations, thorough, polite, detailed. Local husband and wife team, Jeff and Amy, are amazing. Check them out today. Loyal Family Renovations.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We made it. Let's get into the 3 at 3, which is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment. Visit them at Flanders.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, Julia, the first thing is what everybody's kind of talking about today, and it is the weather. Cleanup continues big time. You heard that in the newscast. Dodge, Fond du Lac, parts of Sheboygan County. There are trees down there, homes that have been damaged. There are businesses that have been stripped of their siding. It is a big deal. So the cleanup is continuing throughout that portion of southeast Wisconsin. We've actually got some pictures. The radar image you can see if you text the word watch is where the funnel activity was. Look at that hail. It's like hen egg. What is it? Hen eggs?
Hen egg-sized hail.
That is so big.
Yeah, there's an actual egg next to a hail.
That could literally kill you if that fell from the sky and hit you in just the wrong way.
Yeah,
Text
and then
the word
there's
watch.
storm spotters that took video and actual photos of that storm in Mayville. Looks like a tornado.
It's remarkable, and there's more weather on the way. It's not supposed to be severe, but right now, bubbling up near Janesville and on a line headed towards the Milwaukee area is more rain. It is going to get here. What does it look like? Meteorologist Craig Copleen joins us live at 3:20. Brian Niznansky with us live coming up at 5:35.
All right, so Forbes, with number 2, released the 25 best places to retire, the best cities. And one of them is a Wisconsin city.
Ooh, that's fun.
I thought it would be somewhere closer to Milwaukee, but it's Madison. And they give some reasons why. There's the terrific ratio of physicians per capita, great air quality, very walkable and bikeable. That's true. A low serious crime rate, good economy, no state income tax on Social Security or government retirement plans, and no state estate tax. So that's good. Do you want to hear some others? They only did they did it by alphabetical.
Sure,
so I'll
give
do
us a couple.
2 of them that are closest to us. Iowa City, Iowa, and Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, interesting. Fargo,
Lame.
North Dakota.
Yeah. And then there's one in South Carolina. You want to hear that one?
Yeah, what is it?
Greenville.
Oh, that's a pretty city.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. That's a beautiful city, very safe. Madison, a great place. What a great choice for that list.
The air does smell better in Madison.
Yeah, it is. It just seems fresh and clean, doesn't it? All right, the third 3 at 3. Want to give a shout out to a hero, one of our heroes, Army Technical Sergeant Ken McCarthy, an assault helicopter gunner and crew chief. This guy was a serious guy, a great soldier, an American hero. Why do I bring him up? Because Sergeant McCarthy is going to be honored as the hero of the game at the Brewers game tonight. He deserves it. Shot down multiple times, received Air Medal honors with 5 oak leaf clusters. Now he's a bus driver for the Brewers games out of Balistraries. He can't sit still.
Really?
Yeah. And Julie, this guy went on an honor flight a couple of years ago. He has a great heart. He's a servant. He's one of our guys. He is a hero. So a tip of the cap, a firm salute to Army Technical Sergeant Ken McCarthy. Go get him, Ken. He'll be honored at tonight's Brewers game.
And you said he served in the Vietnam War, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Vietnam veteran. I love that the Brewers do this, that they honor our heroes.
Me too.
Because the men and women that wore the flag deserve every good thing that happens to them. It is 3:13 at WTMJ. 3 at 3 sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment. You can visit them at flanders.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Does music matter to you? Flanders Home Entertainment wants to help you have the best music experience at home. They've got high-quality products, the best prices, and high-fidelity expertise for the best sound in and outside your home. Now is a great time to shop Flanners with our Music Matters sale event. All speakers, all amplifiers, receivers, turntables, CD players, music streamers, and accessories are on sale. Visit Flanners Home Entertainment today in West Allis, Grafton, or at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Flanners. Just press play.
Hey, are you fed up with that overpriced fish fry that stares you in the face sometimes? You don't need to deal with that. You don't have to pay $16 or more. The Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford has an all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry, $7.99, $7.99. That's so affordable. It's a great deal. After a long week, don't cook. Relax with a cold beverage and a Friday fish fry for $7.99. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and then they can safely play in that huge game room. It is just easy. It's nice. Away from the dining area. It's safe. The Mine Shaft is super family friendly. Your Saturday steak or prime rib dinner is under $25. Sunday brunch is under $15. Far less than what you're going to pay anywhere else. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near the EAA in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating, close parking, and a very friendly staff. Walk on in today for your all-you-can-eat beer-battered haddock fish fry for $7.99, serving all day. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, we profile the average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life, becoming everyday heroes. 16-year-old boy named Tyler Snowden.
I was in my house. I heard screaming. I seen the kid on top of the roof. The house was on fire. So I took a ladder, ran over, put the ladder up, grabbed the 4 kids, and helped the mom down the ladder. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I just took the ladder and ran.
Everyday hero on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lassiga, how are the roads?
Well, we do have those delays out there. An earlier accident that we got reported on eastbound 94 on the left shoulder, just about at Highway F. In Waukesha County, that's still out there, still seeing a little bit of a backup heading to about Highway 164. But those delays, like I mentioned, we got backups from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive on 41 southbound. Northbound's backed up from Watertown Plank Road to Hampton. Southbound 43 from Hampton all the way down through the Marquette is going to be heavy. And the northbound side from the Marquette up to Keith. Eastbound 94, watch for the delays from 76th Street all the way through the stadium. The westbound side, you are looking at delays from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, a chance of showers are going to be happening right now through 8 o'clock tonight. Mostly cloudy and windy, a low of 52. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Tomorrow, slight chance of showers north of us, partly cloudy, a high of 64. Sunday, sunny and cooler, a high of 60 degrees. Monday, partly cloudy, a chance of evening showers, a high of 59. Tuesday, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 54 degrees.
So yesterday, just before the really bad weather rolled in, there was a scare down at the Zeidler building. That's part of the City Hall complex downtown. About 1,000 employees work in the building down there right across from City Hall. Calls came in that there may have been a shooting in the building. Everybody was alarmed. Squad cars rushed down there. People were ordered into lockdown. Then they were allowed to leave. Then it ends up that police discovered and believed that there was not a shooting. There were no shots fired, but there was a disturbance up on the 4th floor. It got people down there, some of them very rattled. Amongst them who got pretty worked up was Alderman Lamont Westmoreland. He put out this statement, then you're going to hear from the alderman in just a second. While the exact details surrounding the lockdown at the Zeidler building and City Hall are still unclear, he wrote, one thing is certain. The security plan currently, or lack thereof, is unacceptable. It's trash. As a member of the Public Safety and Health Commission, this is a conversation I will bring to the table. The safety of every employee, elected official, and visitor in these buildings must be the top priority, he said, because there's no metal detectors.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no security at all. You can walk in and out of the building. Alderman Peter Burgell told us yesterday, using the word people's house, that he would have a hard time with a lot of security because it should be open.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Westmoreland had to say to the morning team here on WTMJ.
This is wild how open this building is, how easy it is for anybody to walk through there with their weapon of choice, amongst other concerns.
Westmoreland also went on to say this. I expect the conversation will include talk of financial limitations, but let's be real. Preventing tragedy or injury is priceless. City Hall may be the people's house, but it's not the 1800s. It's time to move into 2025 and take real action to ensure everyone who steps into these buildings is unquestionably safe. So he says he's going to bring it up, says he's going to have the conversation, he's going to add it to the agenda, and it will be discussed, he says, with the full Common Council. Don't know what that means specifically. Could it be metal detectors? Could it be more armed security?
Mm-hmm.
But he does intend to bring it up. It does kind of surprise me, to be honest with you, that in the day and age we live in where you need to go through a metal detector to get into sporting events, to get into some malls, that at City Hall you can basically just walk up to the mayor's office.
You can.
With no security.
I know. Well, there are signs. He said you can just walk in with a weapon. Well, I guess you can, but there are signs that say you are not allowed to.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but of course signs don't stop people.
No, it does not.
Yeah. It is 3:19 at WTMJ.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
EAA AirVenture Oshkosh returns July 21st through the 28th. I love EAA. I've been going to it since I was a kid, since I was a little kid. A long, long time. I love the military craft on the ground. I love the innovation. The daily air shows are incredible. World-class 2-night air shows. It's cool to see all those jets at night, and there are fireworks that light up the sky as well. You get up and close and personal to all those aircraft. You can meet the pilots. You can't do that at other air shows where the planes just fly around, and that's super cool. Here you can meet the pilots. You can touch the planes. It's all right there. It's the world's greatest aviation celebration, and we will broadcast from there on Thursday, July 24th. Get your tickets now at eaa.org/tickets. Join us for the world's greatest aviation celebration.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days because most banks still issue pre-approval letters without actually verifying your income, employment, or down payment. That's the exact opposite of an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval, where we put a $2,000 guarantee behind the fact the seller can actually rely on the terms of your pre-approval and offer. With AccuNet, there's also a possibility of issuing a property-specific pre-approval with as little as a 10% down payment that includes the magic words, no appraisal required. That's right, AccuNet may be able to issue your pre-approval without needing an appraisal. That's the kind of certainty that can help a seller say yes to your offer. Sure, you can try competing with a flimsy bank pre-approval, or you can click on the blue button at AccuNet.com and get started with the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as the best in the business. That's ACCUNET.com.
It's the weekend. Take your family to the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club for a free dinner. I just might do that. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The all-you-can-eat fish fry is fabulous. I love the perch. All other dinners are buy one, get one free, including the pecan-crusted salmon, the pan-fried walleye. They've got new items on the dinner menu. Enjoy your favorite steak, seafood, pasta, even steak and lobster, prime rib on Saturday, all of that. Your second dinner is always free. Sip on an old-fashioned. They've got over 20 bourbons and 100 wines, and that old world bar, it is so fun. You'll love the Fox and Hounds all-you-can-eat Friday fish fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free this weekend. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive, the views, the Kettle Moraine. Spectacular this time of year. Now serving lunch on Saturdays from 11 a.m. till 2. The all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch is magnificent. Tables are open. Call and reserve your free dinner or check it out. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All right, there's more rain headed our direction, but it does not look like there's a very good likelihood of it being severe. Unlike yesterday, let's bring in our friend meteorologist Craig Copleen. Craig, first off, thank you so much for the extended time you spent with us yesterday, helping us walk through that dangerous weather.
Well, you're very, very welcome. I really hope we were able to keep people as informed as possible so that they could make decisions to keep themselves and their families and friends as safe as possible.
Yeah, especially in Dodge County. I guess let's start with Mayville. It's under a state of emergency. It seems like there was a lot of damage, especially to an industrial area, some barns, and amazingly, no one was hurt.
That's fantastic news. Yeah, that's the area that got hit the hardest, and there was likely one or more tornado touchdowns there. We don't have that confirmed yet today. Our friends at the National Weather Service have been doing damage surveys, I believe mainly in Dodge County through the day today. They haven't reported back yet, but what they do is they look at what's happened on the ground, and then they go back and review the radar and other data from last night, and of course take eyewitness accounts into consideration. And using all of that information together, they make a call on how many tornadoes may have touched down and what their strengths were.
When you look at the damage that we have seen and you see the assessments from the National Weather Service so far, what jumps out at you about what happened last night?
I think what's interesting is that we had the one particular tornadic thunderstorm that I don't necessarily know was producing a single tornado that was on the ground the entire trek through Dodge County. You may remember we started talking about the tornado-looking thunderstorm when it was near Waterloo, or just north of Waterloo in far southwest Dodge County. And we tracked it all the way through the county up toward Juneau and Horicon and Mayville and then Lomira. And what I think we had happen is one or more tornadoes sort of went up and down multiple times during that storm's journey. Beyond that, the widespread nature of the thunderstorms that produced the tremendously large hail in so many parts of southeast Wisconsin. Nearly every storm we saw last night produced a lot of hail, and some of the strongest storms produced hail as big as 2 inches in diameter. That is not a common occurrence, as you know, John and Julia, not around here.
Craig, how many possible tornadoes were there yesterday in southeast Wisconsin?
That's too early to call. We know that I feel comfortable saying there was at least one in Dodge County. But I think what's probably going to happen, as I was describing before, is the National Weather Service may identify separate areas of damage in Dodge County that may lead them to believe that there were multiple touchdowns there, maybe multiple touchdowns of the same tornado, but the number will probably be higher than one. That's really the only area there in Dodge County, and then later on in Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties that we had the tornado warnings. So unless the National Weather Service goes down into Racine and Kenosha counties, where I know there is some tree and power line damage reported, and identifies that it wasn't just straight line thunderstorm winds that caused that damage in Racine and Kenosha counties, that perhaps there was a tornado there despite not having a tornado warning in effect, I think the tornadoes are going to be basically confined. The record books are basically going to be confined to the one or more tornadoes in Dodge County.
Hey, Craig, 30 seconds. There's rain on the radar now. Likelihood of any of that being severe?
Low, very low. I should say that there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Manitowoc County, with one strong storm headed toward the city of Manitowoc right now. But all of the other storms that are going on, and they're not in Milwaukee County yet, they're west of Milwaukee, but they're heading in. They look like garden variety type thunderstorms, maybe some brief heavy rain, some brief gusty winds, but they do not look to be damage producers.
All right, meteorologist Craig Copleen, we really appreciate all your hard work. Catch your breath now, Craig.
All right, thanks. Have a great evening.
It is 3:27 at WTMJ. Let's check those markets. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. It ended up being a great week, actually. S&P notching a 5-day win streak, and the S&P was up 41 points today. The Dow was up 332 points. The NASDAQ was up 99 points. Annex Wealth Management is financial planning at every level. Know the difference with Annex.
We didn't write the headline. The
The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Market shifts, economic uncertainty, and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. No doubt, standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil, and we're totally on board with that. But retirement planning isn't a set-it-and-forget-it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized financial, retirement, estate, and tax plans that adapt as needed and put your goals first always. Already with another firm, but getting the feeling you're lost in the shuffle or they just can't keep up? A second opinion could be the smartest move you could make. If you're managing it yourself, we'll fill in the gaps with professional precision. You work hard to build your future. Don't leave it to chance. Put a pro on your side. Get a proactive plan from a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Kick off your summer right with big seasonal savings at Fleet Farm. Kingsford 16-pound 2-packs of charcoal briquettes are just $17.99. Suffix braided fishing line is only $7.99 a spool. And get a free $25 gift card with every $100 you spend on select Columbia apparel and footwear. For more of the hottest summer specials at the best prices guaranteed, stop by your local Fleet Farm or check out our weekly ad at fleetfarm.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlawns Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, restoring normalcy after a night of severe weather.
I'm Julia Fellow. Calls for added security at Milwaukee City Hall.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we've got an accident on 794 just south of Lincoln Memorial Drive, just as you're getting onto the Hone. It is off on the right shoulder. It looks like a car facing the wrong way on the right shoulder. So watch out for that as you're making your way onto the Hone. We've got westbound 94 backed up out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes crossing over into Waukesha County. Eastbound side is backed up from just before 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road, and then again through the stadium to about 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Chance of showers far north, mostly cloudy and windy, a low of 52. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour today. Tomorrow, a slight chance of showers north, partly cloudy, a high of 64. Right now, it's mostly sunny and 78 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, this just in, the Supreme Court blocking President Donald Trump from moving forward with deportations under the Alien Enemies Act, siding with Venezuelans who feared they were poised for imminent removal under the sweeping wartime authority. The decision, experts say, is a significant loss for Trump, who wants to use the law to speed deportations. The justices sent the case back to an appeals court to decide the underlying questions in the case, including whether the president's move is legal, and if it is, how much notice the migrants targeted under the act should receive.
Assessing the damage in Columbia and Juneau counties continues this afternoon, roughly 20 hours after severe storm struck the area last night. Several National Weather Service meteorologists, including Tim Hallbach, is in Juneau this afternoon, going door to door to inspect the impact.
I guess what's standing out is just the number of structures that actually took damage from this tornado, as opposed to just, trees and things like that.
Hallbach says it'll take a couple of days before they know how many tornadoes touch down.
So the worst of the storms are over, but the rain is not. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson telling WTMJ he expects another round of rain to hit Dodge County this afternoon and evening.
We're expecting here some additional showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder to roll through later this afternoon to evening. So not everybody's going to see it. It's going to be very hit and miss, and nowhere near, guys, the level of severe threat from yesterday.
Johnson says the primary window for rain is between 4 and 8 o'clock.
A Milwaukee alderman wants tighter security following a false alarm near City Hall.
The City Hall complex was evacuated Thursday afternoon after a door slam was mistaken for gunfire. Alderman Lamont Westmoreland has security concerns.
This is wild how open this building is, how easy it is for anybody to walk through there with their weapon of choice.
He tells Wisconsin's Morning News City Hall needs metal detectors.
It's not going to be cheap to do something like this, but I think it's something that we need to look into because God forbid something happens, I can guarantee you after that there will be something in place.
Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
Peace talks have stalled between Ukraine and Russia, the two sides meeting in Turkey to discuss ways to possibly put an end to the 3-year war.
The talks lasted less than 2 hours and exposed sharp divisions. A Ukrainian source said Moscow demanded that Kyiv withdraw its troops from large parts of its own territory to get a ceasefire. But there was one concrete achievement, a deal for each side to free 1,000 prisoners of war. Ukraine's defense minister, Rustem Umerov, called for talks between President Zelensky and President Putin.
11 inmates, including several murder suspects, have escaped from a jail in New Orleans. The parish sheriff, Susan Hudson, says the escapees pulled a toilet out of the floor and escaped through the hole. One of the inmates has been captured, while 10 others remain at large.
Former FBI Director James Comey is the subject of a federal investigation. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says the Secret Service is looking into a social media image that Comey posted on his personal Instagram account this week. The image showed seashells that appear to be arranged to spell out 8647. Supporters of President Trump say the 86, which is a shorthand term to mean get rid of, could be a veiled threat promoting violence toward the president. Comey has since deleted the post, saying he didn't realize the number 86 could be associated with violence.
This just in, a Fleet Farm storm team alert. There is a severe thunderstorm warning going on right now in Waukesha and Jefferson counties. Winds up to 60 miles an hour in Oconomowoc and Delafield and Dousman. We see right now the hail could be up to an inch and the wind could reach up to 60 miles an hour. But as we just saw on TMJ4 News with meteorologist Brian Isnansky, it's already at 62 degrees, so be aware.
And that severe thunderstorm warning goes till 4:15. Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. It's game day for the Brewers. The Crew hosting the red-hot Minnesota Twins at American Family Field tonight. Tonight's game is the first of a 3-game series. The Twins have won 11 games in a row. Coverage of tonight's matchup starts with Brewers warm-up right after the 6 o'clock news here on WTMJ. And the New York Knicks have a chance to advance to the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals. All they need to do is beat the defending champion Boston Celtics. A win tonight sends the Knicks to their first Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:36.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
Speaking of golf, maybe your knee's a little gimpy. Maybe your shoulder's bothering you. Maybe you need to get in to see my guys at Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, the top doctors in the area, the highest patient satisfaction ratings. It's Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. They're going to take you through all sorts of treatment and exams and imaging, and they have top-tier stuff. Before they decide whether you need surgery, there are a lot of other solutions before that even happens. Here's how you start to getting on the track to feeling your best. With Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, go to their website, ohow.com. That's OHOW.com. You know, Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, ohow.com. Request an appointment, a big button there. You press it. You get in touch with the doctors that I've met in the places that I've toured. They're fantastic. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Request an appointment.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All right, we have a Fleet Farm storm team alert that we want you to be aware of. It's happening in Jefferson and Waukesha counties, Dousman and Oconomowoc. You are getting hit right now. We just got a text from Craig Copeland. He says that the wind gusts could reach up to 60 miles an hour and possibility of pea-sized hail. Nothing as strong as yesterday, but please be aware.
All right, hey, let's bring in WTMJ Sean Brinda. Sean, you had a pretty fun day yesterday. Pretty full day, but a fun day. What were you up to?
Yeah, I was following the U.S. Circus Ministry. Did you know that there are only about a dozen people in the U.S. that are responsible for taking care of circuses when it comes to faith and beliefs?
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, the U.S. Circus Ministry consists of 2 full-time priests and 2 full-time deacons and 8 other part-time priests, nuns, and deacons. Milwaukee Archdiocese Deacon Gary Nosasek became a member of the ministry back in 2016 and has a history of being a clown and a member of the rodeo. Deacon Nosasek says that the service he provides to performers really goes a long way.
Well, last year we were talking to one of the performers who's from Hungary, and she said, yeah, everybody on the show, because a lot of their acts are very dangerous, and literally when they say death-defying act, well, some of them are. So they're very in touch with a higher power, they're very in touch with God, and so Catholic or not, they really appreciate us being around because they feel like the higher power is watching out for them.
Now, for some members of the ministry, some will become fully embedded within the circus for weeks at a time and help up with setting up tents and working with props, making sure that shows go off without a hitch. Father Frank Cancro is the national chaplain for the ministry and has been part of the practice for 3 decades and says providing religious services to circus performers has reached out far beyond the Catholic faith.
Since the Catholic Church is the only church that does any formal circus ministry, the ministry has evolved to not only care for the Catholic community, but also take on a very ecumenical dimension as well. So I'll help them set up the Seder for a particular show, or I'll help find a mosque for some Muslims who might be on a show to be able to go pray and worship on a Friday. So it becomes a very ecumenical sort of focus.
So Jennifer Kronk is a historian with the Circus World Museum in Baraboo, Wisconsin, and says that the origin for circus ministry dates back almost 100 years between the Ringling Brothers and St. Martha's Catholic Church in Sarasota that was then led by Father Charles Islander.
They became friends, the show owners and he did, and the show started to do performances to support growing the church, to build a new church building, essentially. And so before they would head out on the road, because circus are in their winter quarters until early spring in the year, they would have performances with some of their, top performers, and it was a fundraiser for the church. And at that time, too, is when the circus priest, Father Elslander, started to bless the train before it headed out.
Now, since then, members of the ministry have performed masses, baptisms, officiated weddings, and even funerals with circus troops. Milwaukee Archbishop Jeffrey Grob says that he has the highest respect when it comes to the commitment that nuns, deacons, and priests take to visit as many circus groups during a year.
Well, in a sense, I think we think of the show sometimes, and the excitement and the razzle-dazzle, but to think that there are real people, real lives, we think, oh, well, that's their job. But their job can be very different than many other kinds of jobs just because, again, it's very mobile and that. And so, to kind of, you have a deeper appreciation of what it means to be a member of the circus community and the ministries.
So far, usually these Catholic ministers visit almost 40 circuses throughout a year.
Well, I guess circuses, they travel, and that's what the faith is supposed to do.
Yep.
Is supposed to spread the faith. So I guess they go hand in hand.
It's so interesting, Sean, and the big museum right out there in central Wisconsin. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have a exhibit that's exclusively talking about the ministry there. So
I like it. WTMJ's Sean Brinda, a fun and busy day yesterday. Thanks, Sean. It is 3:42 at WTMJ. So they're cleaning up today. Some areas are still without power. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt scheduled to join us up next on WTMJ.
Hey there, Brewers fans. We've got a new way for you to watch the Brew Crew this season. FanDuel Sports Network. And now there are more ways to watch the Brewers than ever before. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream all the action. Or, new this season, Brewers Baseball is now available on Amazon Prime Video as an add-on subscription. You can also access FanDuel Sports Network through TV providers, including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more. Visit GetMyHomeTeams.com to learn more.
Vita Hearing Care. I can really talk about Vita Hearing Care because they changed my life. I have my hearing aids in, went for the testing. I was nervous. I wasn't sure I wanted it, but I knew that I wasn't hearing great. If that's you, you need to get into Vita Hearing Care because they will take care of you. Locally family-owned, locations in Mount Pleasant and in Waterford. I know that life is sweeter with better hearing. It's also better for your health. It's about embracing life's meaningful moments with confidence and joy. It's just the way to go. It's Vita Hearing Care. Check them out at VitaHearingCare.com. VITA HearingCare.com. It's Vita.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable. But a simple in-office solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Badhan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple in-office procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Here's to time out on the water in Wisconsin. To living your best life while enjoying the lake life.
Ready?
And getting up on a wakeboard the very first try. Or not. Here's to wearing only swimsuits and wishing this perfect day would never end. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at TravelWisconsin.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Uh-oh. Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations: Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com because today's your day.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads?
Yeah, we're still seeing this accident on 794 heading southbound, getting onto the Hone Bridge. It's a crash on the right shoulder, but it is a car facing the wrong way. Looks like now the right lane is blocked with the squad on scene to try and help out with this. So keep that in mind. Luckily, volume's relatively light going over the Hone at this point. Southbound 43 backing up from just before Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette and over the high rise. Northbound is slowing out of the Marquette up to Keefe. Westbound 94, you got your backups from just about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, and then back on the brakes west of Highway 100 all the way to about Sunny Slope. We got the eastbound side slowing down out of the Barker Road area, out past Brookfield Road, and then back on the brakes from 76th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
We have a Fleet Farm Storm Team alert to tell you about for Jefferson and Waukesha counties. There is a severe thunderstorm warning. Hail could be pea-size, wind up to 60 miles an hour at this time, and it goes until 4:15. Nothing as bad as yesterday. Chance of more showers far north tonight, mostly cloudy and windy, a low of 52. Tomorrow, slight chance of showers north, partly cloudy, a high of 64. Sunday, sunny and cooler, a high of 50 degrees. Monday, partly cloudy, a chance of evening showers, a high of 59 degrees. Tuesday, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 56 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, partly sunny and 75 degrees. At 3:47, communities are dealing with severe damage in Dodge County. We have Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt with us on the line. Sheriff, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Let's start with what's going on right now. Do you see any weather going through Dodge County right now, or are you guys all clear?
Well, it's starting to rain here in Juneau, and it looks like it's a little dark to the south. We got some lightning to the south, so we got a little weather headed our way. Hopefully, the weather here tonight is much less severe and upending than what we had last night.
Tell me about last night. Where were you when all of these tornado warnings came out?
Well, I was in Beaver Dam and really listening to the National Weather Service, hearing that things were headed towards Juneau, and as such, that's where I headed. Was actually on my way into Juneau as the tornadoes touched down. Couldn't see them due to the rain wrap, but I was the first one to hit North Main Street here in Juneau and see the disaster that struck after the tornadoes ripped through the city here, and it was. It was certainly something I had not seen in quite some time, but we had outstanding staff, dispatch deputies, police officers, fire and EMS all responded quickly, and I'll tell you, we had it stabilized. It wasn't fixed or cleaned up or anything like that, but we had it stabilized, made sure everybody was okay, got people the care that they needed really by 9 o'clock, which was very impressive here and in Mayville. Very impressive work by all the emergency responders.
Sheriff Dale Schmidt is with us. Okay, Sheriff, so when this is happening, and we all know it's coming, you see it, you feel it, you make sure your teams are ready to go. What do you as the sheriff do? You're a very hands-on guy. When you go into Juneau or you go into Mayville and this is unfolding, what do you do? What did you do last night?
My job was to make sure we had as many resources as possible. First thing I did after catching my breath was order in any available resources that we had. We called in all of our deputies that were off duty, and then it was getting up and down the streets and checking on people, and so that's what we did. Once I had everybody ordered in, we got our command staff in place, organizing, shutting down streets. The next order was going door to door and checking on people. And in the midst of all that, we had a house that collapsed, that an individual was trapped inside his house. And with me being right here in the area, firefighters and I went to the house, so I got inside, were able to get him out of the house and in an ambulance off to the hospital. Very minor injuries, but still needed to get him checked out considering his roof was ripped off of his house and he had some injuries. So,
oh my goodness, what did he tell you?
It was traumatic for him, and he couldn't get out of the house, and he really was confused, and really was processing what was going on. And there was a lot of that. There was a lot of people out here that were just trying to figure out what just happened in Juneau. Mm-hmm. How is this possible that we have this much damage and it was just a small corner of the city. The southern half was untouched, but we had a lot of buildings, a lot of trees, a lot of wires down. We had a barn that was taken out just out into the county a little bit, with hundreds of cows that were on the loose. And let me tell you, seeing the community come together like they did, I drove past the adjoining farm, and their dooryard, their driveway was lined with cars of people there helping to get that all taken care of. And seeing that around the city here in Juneau and also up in Mayville was incredible.
Sheriff, no reports of any deaths. There were some injuries. You just referenced one of them. Are you surprised when you look at the damage that no one was killed?
I am, and I'm not. I am because it's very, very destructive. We had a lot of people knowing early that, hey, we've got storms coming. They were able to get to a safe place for the most part. Part of it is where the tornadoes touched down as well. It didn't hit in the middle of Juneau. It was on the edge of the city, which I think was very helpful and aided in that. But the good Lord was certainly looking over the city of Juneau and the city of Mayville last night. And yeah, one injury here in Juneau, one injury in Mayville, but some of that destruction, you'd think there would have been more.
My goodness. Sheriff, the man that you plucked from his home, how badly damaged was that home? And where did you find him in his house? Maybe that could be a tip on how to survive this.
Well, I wasn't the first to find him. Firefighters got in there before I did, and had him in the first level. It didn't have a roof. The roof was gone. So he was standing there basically in the dining room area, and firefighters were able to get to him, and I was able to help escort him out and get him to safety. It's right on a ledge, or a ridge, the top of a ridge in Juneau here, and very fortunate that something more serious didn't happen to that house and cost him his life. But he's lucky, and he's doing well here tonight.
Tell us about Mayville, which was under a state of emergency when it's not confirmed, but likely a tornado ripped through the town. So much damage to homes, 3 factories with serious damage with that industrial complex. Perfectly fine trees were down and cars are damaged. How is it now?
Yeah, it's still under repair. There's a lot of damage to those manufacturing businesses. There were some brick or concrete walls that were knocked over, which is something you can see, but it isn't real common. Those would be supposed to be a little bit more sturdy than normal. A lot of trees in the cemetery just uprooted, and so quite a bit of damage over there as well. And the response in the city of Mayville was just as fantastic as it was here in Juneau. And one thing that I think a lot of people forget about is when these power lines come down, how quickly these crews work. They had power companies from all over Dodge County here, from the various cities come in, from Alliant. I went home about 1-ish in the morning and saw how all these lines were laying on the road. And when I came back in at about 6, seeing the lines back up already in place was just incredible. How they got that done in 5 hours was nothing short of amazing. They were working hard and quickly to get the power turned back on.
So, Sheriff, as we've been talking, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Dodge County until 4:30. Is there still power out in some areas of some of your cities?
In some areas, they have the vast majority of the power turned back on. We have a section that is right off a power substation here in Juneau that's going to be down for a few days. It's going to take some time to fix that. So there are still some places without power, but they were able to restore most of it. And let's hope this thunderstorm warning blows over with not much in the way of damage here tonight.
Yeah, and some schools canceled in Mayville. So thankfully we have the weekend to get everything back together. How nice. I think it's just so amazing to speak about our community in Dodge County, how everybody came together, even helping corral cows.
Yeah, it's neat to see. That's what we're used to here in Dodge County, though. When somebody needs help, everybody comes together, especially when you have something like this. And it's always warms your heart to see the assistance of neighbors. You watch one neighbor who doesn't have any damage to their house go across the street and help somebody else across the street that has significant damage, helping them out. People calling and saying, hey, what can I do to help? Companies calling in and saying, hey, we've got resources available to help out. It is really a cool thing to see in the wake of a disaster like this.
He is Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt. We can hear things are picking up there, and indeed we look at the radar and can see that. We'll let you hop to that. Always appreciate you being available. Thanks for your service. Thanks for helping to protect us. We appreciate it, Sheriff.
Yes.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
It is 3:55 at WTMJ, and indeed, the severe thunderstorm warnings are coming in. Waukesha till 4:15, Washington, Dodge till 4:30. We'll compile the list for you, and we'll get it here coming up at 4 o'clock. Keep it here on WTMJ. Check out the WTMJ mobile app. Get those alerts set up, and you can be in the know. It is 3:56.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Kohl's Corporation's shareholders approve in preliminary voting the reappointment of 8 members to the company's board of directors. The board's number of members decreased after former CEO Ashley Buchanan was fired on April 30th, and the former board member Christine Day resigned May 5th. Both were originally up for a vote on board positions before their departures. Tennessee-based LifePoint Health breaks ground on a new inpatient rehabilitation hospital in Oak Creek. The 58,000-square-foot, 40-bed hospital is expected to open in the summer of 2026. Enerpac Tool Group unveils its new headquarters in downtown Milwaukee. The new offices are on the Milwaukee River in historic Gimbel's department store building that was known in recent years as the ASQ Center. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce!
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin's got a great deal going on right now. It is absolutely fantastic. It may be the best deal of the year. It's pretty incredible, actually. You get the great Pella product, the windows, the doors, all the good stuff. And now you have 6 years of 0% financing. Really what that means is for 72 whole months, you have the windows and doors, and you pay nothing, and there's no interest. The full Pella experience is always included from start to finish. Free in-home consultation. I love that we did that. You commit to nothing. Pella Design Expert will listen to your vision, then present the different colors, sizes, and customizations to make that vision a reality. I know it can feel overwhelming to consider what feels like limitless possibilities, and at Pella, they really are limitless, but they'll walk you through everything, help you narrow it down, and you get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Think about it this way. You get the doors and windows, you pay nothing until we're in the 2030s. Certain restrictions apply. Deal ends the end of the month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
We didn't write the headline. The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
The Brewers are back in town for the other I-94 series.
Contreras fly ball deep right field. This is way back. Watch this baby fly. Goodbye.
Our coverage against the Twins starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up on your home for the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, another round of storms on the way.
I'm Julia Fellow. Big and Beautiful gets a speed bump.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound on the Hone Bridge. We've got a crash that has the right lane blocked. Car facing the wrong way, getting hooked up to a tow truck as we speak. So just watch yourself as you're heading over the Hone Bridge. The rest of the system, we got delays. Southbound on 43, backing up from before Capitol Drive all the way through the Marquette and onto the high rise. Back on the brakes from about Lapham down to the KK River. Southbound 41, a very heavy ride from Good Hope Road all the way down past Burleigh. The northbound side slow from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alert has been issued. The National Weather Service issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for Waukesha and Jefferson counties until 4:15. A separate thunderstorm warning issued for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, and Dodge counties until 4:30. Tonight, there's a chance for more rain, mostly to the north, a low of 52 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 64 degrees. More rain is on the way. The National Weather Service has issued that severe thunderstorm warning. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Conway says the showers tonight won't be comparable to the severe storms we experienced yesterday.
We're expecting here some additional showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder to roll through later this afternoon to evening. So not everybody's going to see it. It's going to be very hit and miss, and nowhere near, guys, the level of severe threat from yesterday.
In addition to heavy rain, the National Weather Service says the current round of storms carries wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and penny-sized hail.
It could take several days for weather experts to know the extent of the storms from yesterday. The National Weather Service says they have meteorologists on the ground assessing the damage, inspecting properties damaged by high winds. WTMJ's meteorologist Craig Copleen tells us that yesterday's storms left a precarious path.
We had the one particular tornadic thunderstorm that I don't necessarily know was producing a single tornado that was on the ground the entire trek. And what I think we had happen is one or more tornadoes sort of went up and down multiple times during that storm's journey.
The Weather Service has not confirmed the number of tornadoes as of yet, but believe it was at least 2 in northern Wisconsin and at least 1 other in Racine County.
The Supreme Court is furthering its pause on the Trump administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act to remove alleged members of an international gang. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
In an unsigned opinion, the Supreme Court says it has long held that no one should be deported from the U.S. without a chance to challenge their removal. This 7-2 decision says detainees must have sufficient time and information to contact a lawyer and to file a petition in court. The majority says 24 hours notice without guidance as to how detainees can contest their removal surely does not pass muster. But the High Court says it won't set a specific timetable, sending the case back down to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals to work out the details.
Republican infighting is threatening the GOP's plan to make the Trump tax cuts permanent and imposes significant changes to Medicaid and other safety net programs. The spending plan, known as the Big Beautiful Bill, failed to get enough votes out of the committee today after 5 Republicans voted against it. House Speaker will likely be working through the weekend to try and muster enough support for this bill.
Coming up, a legal spat costs gamers their entertainment.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Have you been to the Hounds and Tap yet? In Menominee Falls, this state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the indoor-outdoor tavern, let your dogs hang out. You can even book professional grooming services, from pedicures to full spa treatments. Every day is a play day at the Hounds and Tap. Hang out with your dog and others, or drop your dog off for doggy daycare or doggy boarding services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
For those with a warm weather passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
Looking for a getaway with fantastic outdoor recreation? Sheboygan is a perfect destination. Hike or bike through Kohler Andre State Park and other local parks. There are all kinds of water sports, including surfing, paddleboarding, and kayaking. Sheboygan's walkability takes you to South Pier. Visit shops, play mini golf, and enjoy fine dining. Shop their farmers market and take in live music. It's the Malibu of the Midwest. Plan your getaway today at visitsheboygan.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:06.
No Fortnite at all on iPhones or iPads.
If you were hoping for a little gaming on the go by firing up Fortnite on your iPhone or iPad, get ready to be disappointed again. The long-running feud between Apple and Fortnite maker Epic Games boiling over, with Epic posting this morning that Apple is blocking Fortnite's resubmission to the App Store. Epic says that means the game is offline worldwide for all iOS devices till Apple relents. The two companies have been through a legal battle royale for years over Apple's rules on in-app payments. A couple weeks ago, a judge ordered the rules changed. Rob Hawley, ABC News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Game night at American Family Field. The Brewers host the Minnesota Twins for the first of a 3-game set. That's tonight. Coverage on WTMJ starts with Brewers warm-up right after the 6 o'clock news. And in the NBA, a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals is on the line tonight for the New York Knicks. The Knicks can close out the Boston Celtics with a win at Madison Square Garden. If the Knicks are victorious, they'll take on the Indiana Pacers in the next round.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:07.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. Be aware we have some severe thunderstorm coming through our area.
Yep, we're on top of it. We'll keep you updated.
Okay, so you want to know what happened with rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs?
Yes. What is the update today?
All right. He's facing life in prison for charges that include sex trafficking, engaging in prostitution, racketeering. He faced his ex-girlfriend for a third day in a row in federal court. Prosecutors say this is their star witness, Cassie. You may remember her name. She's in that infamous hotel surveillance video. It shows Combs kicking her while she's on the ground and dragging her by the hair into his hotel room. It is. We learned in court today that Combs is diagnosed with a mental health disorder, bipolar disorder. So we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, do you want to know the dollar amount that Cassie got from a $30 million civil suit that she filed against him last year? It was settled out of court within 24 hours. And the defense asked the question. She said she got $20 million. And the defense asked her if that ruined his career. She said yes. How did she even get to that $30 million number? She said she wrote a book about what happened to her, and when he did not take her seriously, she hired lawyers and filed suit, and she thought 30 was a good number. So now she has $20 million. Wow. She was with him for about a decade, and she testified that she thought Combs was going to help her with a budding music career, but she says her job became hundreds of sex parties known as freak-offs, which were videotaped, and he threatened to make it go public when she tried to break up with him several times. Remember the thousands of baby oil bottles that the FBI found in Combs' home? Mm-hmm. Cassie testified that they would use about 10 bottles each freak-off. She would procure the male escorts with Combs' money. She would wear strange outfits. And after the freak-off, she said Combs took her into another room and he wanted bodily fluids placed on him after. These freak-offs could last for days. She said she would use IV fluids and opiates to get through it and to feel better. And then the jurors were shown just yesterday sexually explicit images from the freak-off videos. No one from the gallery can see it. There's privacy screens on the court monitors, but you can see the expressions. One female juror's face, she let out a deep breath and rested her hand on her chest. She looked like she was so upset. A male juror also looked at the screen, and his eyes appeared to dart away very quickly. Other people taking notes. Then there's texts that were shown with her saying, "You treat me like Ike Turner," adding that she was beaten several times during those taped freak-offs. She said when they broke up, he raped her in the living room. And the attorney brought up, at that time, did you know his diagnosis, his mental health diagnosis? Yes, he has bipolar disorder. It was linked to this alleged 2018 rape. So I don't really know what the defense was trying to do there, but that was what was going on once they were able to ask her questions today. She began to date another man, and Combs threatened to put out 2 embarrassing videos. There was evidence shown in court of her emailing her mother about the threats he had made, trying to show evidence that maybe she was setting a precedent saying that this had happened. And she also revealed that they went to swinger sex clubs.
Whoa.
Which I had never heard about.
Wow.
And after she married her husband and had a child, she says that she relapsed with drugs and went into treatment. and saying that she did not want to be alive anymore, tried to walk into moving traffic before her husband stopped her.
Oh, my goodness.
So there's a lot that she's going through.
Yeah.
She's also 8 months pregnant, John.
Very pregnant.
So they wanted to keep it going through Monday, questioning her, but they said she could literally have a baby tonight.
Yeah, the two sides agreed ahead of time that they would wrap it up by the end of this week, and the defense wanted to go more.
So there's other music groups. Danity Kane, if you remember this, Making the Band on MTV. There's 2 band members that are expected to take the stand next week, talking about alleged abuse as well. So we'll be covering that. And the defense is trying to say, okay, there's showing domestic abuse, and they're saying he's not a good guy. That was in their opening statements. Like, the guy that we're defending is not a good guy. But where's the evidence of what he's charged with? He's not charged with domestic abuse. He's charged with sex trafficking, prostitution, and racketeering. So a lot of analysts are saying maybe he might get off.
How would you like to be him sitting there and your own legal team is saying, look, we agree he's not a great guy.
Oh.
He's kind of messed up, but we're going to prove he didn't commit a crime. But you have to sit there and listen to them basically saying, yeah, he's a terrible person, but look past it.
Yes.
It's interesting. It could go several weeks, right?
Yes, several weeks.
Ooh. It is 4:13 at WTMJ. We're going to switch gears big time up next. I love what we do on Fridays. Eric Bilstead's put together an everyday hero. That's up next on WTMJ.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
John Mercure here for Kohlder's. The big sale is finally here. It's Kohlder's offering huge limited-time savings on furniture, appliances, and mattresses during their Memorial Day weekend sale. Right now, Kohlder's takes 60% off plus an extra 10% off furniture and mattresses. That's right. You can do the math. 60 plus 10, it's 70% off on sofas, sectionals, dining sets, outdoor furniture. I just shopped at Kohlder's. I just bought a sectional myself and some bedroom furniture. Incredible deal. I wish I had this deal. This is the deal of the year. When you stack the 2 incredible discounts, you save on everything you need to get your home ready for summer. They've got 4 locations, beautiful showrooms. I shopped in Delafield, was also in West Allis. They've got the best sales staff. They're going to answer all your questions. There's no pressure. It's super easy. And if you're shopping for laundry or kitchen, take an extra 5% off their already unbeatable deals on all your favorite brands. Serving Milwaukee County for over 80 years, they're quite simply the best. Better selection, better service, the place I shop. It is Kohlder's. Hey, check us out, Wisconsin. We have got you covered on Experience Wisconsin. We've got a great show coming up this week. I love what we do here. We spin you around the state, take you to the people and places and things that are happening that make Wisconsin so super special. On this week's show, which, by the way, is Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ, we've got a triple header for you. Kenosha, Sheboygan, and Lake Geneva. Fun on the water, fun on the land, hotels and restaurants. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Loziga. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We got some slowdowns on southbound 43 from just south of Hampton all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. Northbound is backing up over the high-rise bridge all the way up to Keefe. Eastbound 94, we've got delays from Highway 16 all the way to Barker Road. Back on the brakes from 84th Street to 35th. The westbound side is going to be backed up out of the Marquette, pretty much all the way past Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from the Zoo all the way to Calhoun. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, more rain is likely coming. As a matter of fact, a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for much of southeast Wisconsin until 4:30. It's going to move out after that, then be windy with a low of 52 degrees. Tomorrow, slight chance for showers, a high of 64. Sunday, sunny and cooler, a high of 65. Monday, afternoon showers, a high of 60. And on Tuesday, another chance for rain, a high of 58 degrees. Right now, light rain and 76. Time to recognize another everyday hero. This week's everyday hero is very unique. Here's WTMJ's Eric Bilstad.
Wisconsin's Morning News identifies an everyday hero as an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Here's something you don't hear every day. A heart transplant donor alive to see others live thanks to her heart. 11-year-old Hend Elmsafri. She was born with a weak heart. Genetic cardiomyopathy.
Hend came to us so sick that her heart couldn't pump enough blood to all of her other organs, and she needed heart transplant.
It's one of her doctors in that audio, courtesy of New York Presbyterian. Hend has this weak heart, but so does 3-year-old Teddy Carter and 2-year-old John Catalliato.
We found out that Teddy had an aortic stenosis, causing the blood to not pump through his heart the way it should be.
John has truncus arteriosus. He has one outflow valve from his heart instead of two.
John and Teddy's moms there describing their health issues these little boys struggle with. They need multiple surgeries and will need multiple surgeries for the rest of their lives. These two boys and Hend, 3 patients, 3 strangers, who are now forever linked. You see, a donor heart had become available for Hend, but before the transplant was made, a realization was discovered.
Even though Hend's heart was weak, her valves still worked very well, and they were a good size to donate to both John and Teddy.
So a groundbreaking procedure was done. They transplanted this new heart to Hend, but then used her old valves in the bodies of little John and Teddy. Now all 3 are doing well.
We can't thank her and her family enough.
Yeah, and she's such a lovely, lovely girl. I mean, she's just amazing.
The hospital has this great story on social media. You can see it on our website. Just text the word hero to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. There's great video of them meeting and laughing, and Hend describing how she feels knowing her heart is saving others.
I feel amazing to see them healthy and good.
And you are amazing. You're an everyday hero. So are the doctors involved, and so is the donor of that first heart. Thank you for saving 3 lives. Everyday Heroes, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
All right, that is our Friday Everyday Hero on WTMJ. Coming up next, you got a vacation planned. It's booked. It's approaching. How many days before the vacation starts do you actually check out at work? Like you're pretty much done. We've got a survey that dives into that question up next.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you've saved in a 401k or IRA, you might think you're set for retirement. But here's something you need to know. Every dollar you withdraw could be taxed. And with rising government debt, future tax hikes could take an even bigger bite out of your savings. Imagine reaching retirement only to realize the IRS is taking more of your money than you expected. It's one of the biggest risks that retirees face, spending their savings without a plan for taxes. And once you're retired, it's often too late to fix it. That's why I want to help you create a tax strategy now so you can keep more of your hard-earned money. At Drake & Associates, we focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you lower your lifetime tax bill and maximize your retirement income. And right now, I'm offering you a free retirement toolkit, plus a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to show you how to keep more of your money working for you, not the IRS. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free copies. Don't wait until tax rates rise. Start planning today. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you keep more of what you've earned.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Hey, John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I love Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I've shopped there a couple of times, bought vehicles a couple of times. I've used the service department. My Ford Explorer is my favorite vehicle that I've ever owned, and it is from Griffin Ford in Waukesha. They've got the best-selling truck in America for 47 straight years, the Ford F-Series, like the F-150. At Griffin Ford, over 50 of those bad boys in stock right now, ready for delivery. Griffin Ford has an outstanding selection of retired service loaner vehicles, ready to find their permanent home, buy a new car for a used car price. Over 300 new certified used vehicles in stock right now. With tariff uncertainty still a reality, get into Griffin Ford today and do your shopping. Get it done. Lock it in. Prices have not gone up, but they likely will for every place that sells cars. So get in there right now and get it taken care of. Great service department right now for $1 over cost. You get brand new tires with free tire repair and lifetime tire rotation. There are some details you need to read through there. It's Griffin.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All right. For a lot of people, it's planned vacation mode right now. It's like summer vacation is a couple months away for people, right? It's May. Okay. I found an interesting survey that has some stats related to all of this. So we all know, right, as vacation gets closer, it takes extra effort to stay focused those last couple days before you leave on vacation, to stay locked in, to continue to do your good job. The survey finds that 70% of Americans, 70%, mentally clock out and enter vacation mode a full 3 days before they actually depart. So that means if, say, you're taking an extra long trip, then, you know, you're off Friday in the next week, that means like what? Monday's your last good day of work, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're already kind of clocked out. Or if you leave on Saturday for a vacation, that means that Tuesday you're locked in, but for 70% of Americans, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're kind of going through the motions.
You are never clocked out, but I will say the day before your vacations, you're so excited. You're so happy. Everything, like if there's a song, that's my favorite song playing right there.
That's so funny you say that. Yeah.
I love that song. What song?
Like, that's the best song ever. Oh, my God. Did you see what I saw on Netflix? It was so good.
It's so sweet, though.
75% of workers report experiencing mental fog at work. They say that leads to an increased need for vacation. That's such a big number. 75% of U.S. workers say they experience mental fog at work. I never feel that way. Do you?
You need to go for a little walk then.
Give yourself a break?
Yeah.
Fresh air?
You're too in the zone, and now you're overwhelming yourself. Just break off for a second.
So the survey identified clear warning signs that signal when vacation is desperately needed. These were the top things on the list that signaled that. If you feel burnt out for more than one day in a row. If you find yourself if you catch yourself daydreaming about a vacation. I don't really daydream. Is that really a thing? Does that mean like you're looking off into space? Like, I don't have time to daydream. Do you really daydream?
No.
I don't mean to be judgy, but that seems weird to me. Okay? But daydreaming. Another sure sign you need a vacation, you become irritable with others.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. It's a little short maybe, right?
Why are you looking at me?
No, I was looking at you because I was hoping you weren't thinking that I do that. 39% report persistent fatigue. Low energy even during the weekends.
You're saying I have low energy today.
I did actually. Brandon.
I do not.
Doesn't Julia seem like she you're not your normal self?
I'm fine.
You're
I'm
quieter.
Focused.
I want to say
She's
you're
off.
very focused.
She's off. She's not her normal self. Hyper focused. Nothing's funny or there's no reaction. It's just business 100% of the time, which
we were trying to goof around with you.
I know what it is. She needs a vacation.
Yeah.
It could be. Maybe you're due for a vacation.
Do I need a vacation?
Outside of Door County.
I'm going to the tailgate tomorrow with you guys.
That's not a vacation.
WTMJ tailgate. That's going to be work.
No, it's not.
It's going to be fun.
I'll meet you at the grill. We have grill duty.
Yeah, me and you and Brandon are
And
teamed up
Sandy.
together, and Sandy Max are working the grill together. Then I think all of us work check-in together.
We have open time where we can do whatever we want.
We have free time. Yeah.
We are for check-in, though, for part of it, too, I saw. I hope there's no computer or anything complicated, or we will jack up that whole check-in.
That's true.
They wouldn't do that to us, would they?
Do we give Julia the time to report
To report what?
to duty tomorrow?
You know what time you need to be there?
Oh, tell me.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. I thought we had to be in line 2:45.
You
Yes.
need to set your reminder
You
for 1 p.m.
set all your alarms on your clock,
Oh,
on your
yeah.
phone.
I'll have multiple alarms.
Julia has how many alarms
Stop
right now?
it.
If you opened up your alarm thing, like how many are in your little list? Like I have
Oh,
like
like
5
that
in
I
my
could
list.
turn on?
Yes. How many are in there?
Well, here, look at.
Oh my, Julia!
It goes
That
from
is
here,
literally
it
like-
starts at 12:25
That's like
a.m.
25.
all the way to 11:58.
You have like an
God.
alarm for every 7 minutes.
What do you have alarms on the weekends?
I work like 24/7.
That's why you gotta.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
6
Go on
a.m. every
vacation.
weekday, and then
Every week?
7
Okay,
a.m.
weekday.
every weekday. I have
7.
So is that like a snooze? Like you
Used
set
to
them
be
all,
every day.
and then you just shut them off if you're not ready to get up?
Yeah, whenever I need it, and it's like at random times, like 5:16. I don't even care what the exact time is. About that time.
5:16. What's that
so
alarm for,
random.
Julia? I have no idea.
I don't
it's just
delete
going
any of
off.
these
That is
alarms.
so random. I've always liked your husband, but after seeing that, I love him. He's
Psychotic.
He's an amazing guy.
I have random alarms for other things I got to do. You know.
We'll be sitting in meetings
Okay.
at all times a day, and like four alarms will go off.
John hates
For
it.
what it's worth, I have about 25 to
Whoa.
30
you,
set on my
Deb.
watch. Yeah.
Debbie, why?
That's
so
on my
many.
watch. It's just for during the week.
Gotta remind yourself to do little things. I want to stay on task.
Maybe I need more because I do forget things. So I probably need more. I need more alarms. I have like 5 set right now. That's it.
Nobody hears it though because it buzzes on my wrist, so nobody hears my alarm.
Oh, everybody hears mine. It drives people nuts.
No, it doesn't. Stop. it.
Sometimes I walk away from my phone. People are like, "Turn that crap off."
Whose is
this?
that?
I'm like, I
Whose
don't
alarm
know.
is that? If we're in a meeting and an alarm randomly goes off.
It went off.
It'll go off in
upstairs.
the
People were
newsroom.
going
Somebody
nuts.
screams out, "Julia!"
Yep, pretty much. We had a big meeting with like the whole team.
What? What are you doing to me? Say it.
No, your alarm goes off a lot, but you have a lot of alarms.
In the big meeting, it went off.
No, it was actually while we were upstairs in our little meeting, wasn't it?
Who
The 4
cares?
of us were in the
Who
room.
knows?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't
but-
care, by the way. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, it does.
I'm used
She
to
had
it
to
now.
go off one time. She left the newsroom and left her phone in there, and everybody was looking around like, "Do we shut it off or do we just let it?" And it kept going and going, and it sounds like a nuclear invasion is happening. And
It's hideous.
That is hilarious. Hey, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything up today. The Dow up 330, the NASDAQ 98, the S&P up 41 points. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Across the nation, more than 104,000 people are waiting for organs that will save their lives, with more than 90,000 of them waiting for a kidney. Living Kidney Donation works to close the gap between the need and availability of donor kidneys. Here to tell us more about Living Kidney Donation is Leanne Mixon, Vice President of Transplant Services at the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, and a living kidney donor herself. Leanne, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with having you tell us about the need for kidney donors and how Living Donation can help.
More than 90,000 people are waiting for kidneys across the country, including more than 1,100 here in Wisconsin. The wait for a deceased donor kidney transplant can be several years. People on the wait list have an increased mortality risk as well as a higher risk of complications due to their primary disease and dialysis. Living Donation helps increase the pool of organs, leading to less wait time, more organs that can be transplanted, and often boosts outcomes for recipients.
As someone who donated a kidney, what would you say to others who may consider being a donor?
I would encourage them to do it. Before I donated, I talked with several donors who said that they would donate a kidney again in a heartbeat. Now, having been through the experience myself, I can wholeheartedly say the same. Seeing firsthand the life-changing impact that donation has for so many, I absolutely made the right decision. And If at any time during the process a donor decides that they don't want to move forward, they can stop the process, no questions asked.
Did you feel like your health was a priority to the care team?
I absolutely did.
Was it a difficult process?
It was a pretty easy process. A fair amount of testing just to make sure that I was healthy enough to donate.
Why should someone choose the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Living Kidney Donor Program?
Our team of experts provide exceptional care for live donors from the earliest point in the evaluation through hospitalization and follow-up care. A dedicated transplant coordinator works with the donors through every step related to donation and stays close to them following donation to support their recovery. And all along the way, the donor's health is the care team's priority.
Leanne, great information. Thanks for being with us today. For more information on living donation, visit freighter.com/transplant, or you can call 414-777-7700. Traffic is sponsored by Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek.
Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Come shop and see the beautiful hanging baskets and deck-ready potted plants and vegetable plants, too. Tehan Greenhouses. Buy direct from the grower. Tehan.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 4:30. I'm Julia Fellow alongside John Mercure. Your top story: bracing for more in Dodge County, and Mayville High School opens to serve a different purpose.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and oh boy, we got delays pretty much everywhere. Eastbound on 94, we are actually starting to slow down, but from before Highway 67 all the way through to Highway 83, back on the brakes from 164 past Barker Road, and then from the zoo to about 35th Street. The westbound side, heavy ride out of the Marquette towards Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes from the zoo, on and off the brakes pretty much all the way past Calhoun. Then it also tightens up between Blue Mound Road and Highway F, some more west of Highway 16. We also have a crash on 94 eastbound right at the ramp from Highway 67. This looks like it is a car that went way off the roadway, off to the right, so it's way down on the embankment there. Just be extra careful. The roads are wet. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team Alert. The National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Dodge and Fond du Lac counties until 4:45. There are wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour, but in this warning right now, it could be up to 60 miles an hour for now before it goes out to the lake. Tomorrow, slight chance of showers north, partly cloudy, a high of 64 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a long road to recovery for Dodge County following severe weather and multiple tornadoes. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt says he and first responders have been out cleaning up debris since the overnight hours. He joined us moments ago.
That were off duty. Then it was getting up and down the streets, checking on people. So that's what we did. Once I had everybody ordered in, we got our command staff in place, organizing, shutting down streets. The next order was going door to door and checking on people.
No deaths were reported following the storms.
A Mayville man witnessed one of the tornadoes.
Tom Bleeker was outside with his son when he noticed something eerie.
When I saw the sky kind of change to a greenish color, I told my son, I was like, we got to go inside.
They ran into their house and soon after saw the twister. Bleeker tells me it tore through the back of his property and hit the neighbor's house.
They lost a good chunk of their roof, a lot of their siding. All the windows are broken. I mean, some of the windows, even the framework came out. It looks like their garage got leveled, and there's debris all the way across the field behind them.
The tornado also damaged another neighbor's barn.
You can't even tell that there was ever a barn there.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
A false alarm at Milwaukee City Hall prompting a council member to call for more security. The City Hall complex was evacuated yesterday after a door slam was mistaken for gunfire. Alderman Lamont Westmoreland tells Wisconsin's Morning News he believes metal detectors should be installed.
It's not going to be cheap to do something like this, but I think it's something that we need to look into because, God forbid, something happens. I can guarantee you after that there will be something in place.
Westmoreland believes it's too easy to walk into City Hall complex with a weapon.
An expansive manhunt is underway in New Orleans. Police there searching for 9 inmates now who escaped from New Orleans Parish Jail this morning. Apparently, after the head count, they noticed that 11 people were missing. 2 have been caught already. But they say that those people were able to escape their holding cell by escaping through a hole in the floor after removing a toilet.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Tonight, the Brewers start a 3-game series against the Minnesota Twins in what could be the most anticipated weekend series of the young season. Not only are the Brewers taking on their former American League rivals, but tonight is Star Wars night at the ballpark. And while tomorrow night's giveaway is the much-anticipated cribbage board presented by 620 WTMJ. Coverage of tonight's Brewers-Twins game starts with Brewers warm-up at 6 o'clock.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:36.
Get 0% financing for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When having new Pella windows and doors installed at your home, you get the full Pella experience. That means we're with you from start to finish. Our team doesn't disappear after the work is done. Just like with Vinny, your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
With customizations driving limitless possibilities, our Pella experts truly listen to your vision, just as we did with Nicole.
I felt like they really listened to us. There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, offer some suggestions, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait any longer, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 5/31/2025.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
A door slam causes a stir. Severe weather strikes the state. Birds keep exploding and more. It's the Week in Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
More than 30 fire trucks responded to Highland Court Apartments just before 8 a.m. on Mother's Day.
We're up to 48 ladder rescues. I've never been to a fire in my career where we've had those numbers coming out the windows. That's how punishing this smoke was.
That's Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky, who says this likely would have been a small fire that could have been stopped quickly had there been sprinklers.
The president says by paying higher prices here, Americans have been subsidizing the cost of drugs sold in other countries.
Why? What did we do? Suckers.
How often does a random person that you follow on social media talk about how great this nation is? But there's crap all the time everywhere about what's wrong with our country.
Yep.
And there's so much more that's right with our country.
Here.
If it's so wrong, get out of here. Go to another country where it's better.
Father of the Madison school shooter is now out on bond. 42-year-old Jeffrey Rupnow faces 3 felony charges, including intentionally providing a dangerous weapon to a minor. His daughter, 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow, used the legally purchased guns in their home in the deadly Abundant Life Christian School shooting last December.
Freddie's 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got him with a changeup for strikeout number 1,000 in the career of Freddie Peralta.
Gary Day now faces 6 charges in the Eastern District of Arkansas after he was involved in a multi-state Amber Alert for missing teenager Sophia Franklin.
On the second floor of the 2-story home in Fredonia, Ozaukee County Sheriff Christy Knowles says a 37-year-old man was armed to the teeth and making threats towards law enforcement.
We knew he had firearms, and there was a lot of firepower in that home.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it's from downtown Milwaukee. The Zeidler Building reports of an incident there with a large police presence.
The examination of the area did not show any signs of a weapon being discharged, which is a very, very good thing.
NFC North Division opponents bookend the Packers' schedule. Week 1 at home against the Lions and Week 18 on the road against the Minnesota Vikings.
A federal grand jury indicts Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan, accused of helping an undocumented man evade immigration agents.
We are here today to support not just Judge Hannah, but to support democracy. The eyes of the country and the world are watching very closely this case.
Gina is trying to find a creative title for this podcast. I'm going to suggest Hegging, Knobs, and Double Runs.
So many different meanings if you don't know cribbage. You better be careful what kind of podcast you start.
A very good point.
Damning new details that we're releasing today about former President Joe Biden's physical and mental deterioration and how his family members and closest aides concealed it from the public.
To admit that you weren't doing a good enough job as a journalist to dig a little bit deeper during the administration.
Someone's got to tell the story. Someone's going to have to write a book. No journalist is perfect.
All eyes here in Chicago are on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Fake news.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
In the East Bay city of Richmond, along Bernhard Avenue, they have a problem. Birds keep exploding. They land on a certain power line and they're immediately electrocuted. Bird carcasses litter the street.
So when they land and it happens, they just quickly explode, and it's just really violent.
Decapitated, whole big thing. We had a funeral for a bird.
I'm pretty sure none of that's real.
Lane Grindle, Brewers broadcaster, is with us. All right, Lane, you wear headsets for a living.
Talk about a head of hair.
Yes.
Do you ever worry about if you have an event after the game how your hair is going to look? Do you get headset hair?
I have very thick hair, and it's very straight, so it's a problem for really anything that I do. I have calyx. It's just a mess.
I got gum in my hair.
You do.
This just stinks.
Any one of the thunderstorms has the potential of producing tornadoes. So they also will have the potential to produce very large hail on the order of golf ball size hail or larger.
Thursday night severe weather in Dodge County included one confirmed tornado at Mayville.
Several police stations will be playing Amazing Grace as a salute to our men and women that wear the uniform.
You know, without Lake Michigan, or even, I suppose, Lake Superior, without the Great Lakes, Wisconsin would be, what do folks say? Iowa.
Oh, I knew you were going to
Okay, guys, take care and goodbye.
What a week, huh?
What a week, eh?
What a week.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
I would love to be in Milwaukee. I love it here. They call me the mayor here, right? So it's kind of hard to leave a city where you're the mayor.
Why? What did we do? Suckers.
Fake news.
So when they land and it happens, they just quickly explode.
I put no-see-em spray on it every evening, and it doesn't care. They find me.
And I don't have to see you tomorrow or Sunday. Please don't call me, and we'll see how things go on Monday.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Yes! Brandon Snide.
Wow.
Nice job.
Excellent.
We're going to have you do that every week. That's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
Hey, John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Annex wants you to know the difference. They're local, independent, and woven into the fabric of Southeast Wisconsin. Not all financial advisors are created equal. That's a big deal. Their teams at Annex are teams for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning, and they're right here, not some far-off call center. Now's the moment to get real about your financial future. As you take that next step, here's a quick checklist. Is your advisor a fiduciary? Are they sharp on tax planning? Can they nail your estate plan and ensure your legacy reflects your vision? These aren't just questions. They're the line between real guidance and a sales pitch. Annex meets you wherever you are. From Annex Comprehensive Wealth for the full picture, to Annex Private Client for complex needs, to Annex Ignite for a streamlined start, they've got it all. Hit up AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. We did that years ago, and book your appointment today. Locations throughout Southeast Wisconsin, Northern Illinois. For snowbirds, there's one in Florida, or always as close as your computer. Know the difference. Know Annex.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Caladora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
If you missed this,
can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
Or this.
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my repertorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com, presented by Dave Drakamp Heating. We're sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanders Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanders, just press play.
weather. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads right now?
It's still slow. We got eastbound 94, an accident right at the ramp from Highway 67. The right shoulder is blocked right now, but the car itself is way off in the embankment, off on the right. So just be extra careful. We do have delays coming in from about Golden Lake Road past Highway 67 where the accident is, and those delays kind of continue all the way to Highway 83. You're back on the brakes from 164 all the way past Brookfield Road, and then from the zoo all the way to about 27th Street. On the westbound side, we got delays from 25th to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes from the zoo, pretty much all the way past Calhoun, and then more delays between Blue Mound Road and Highway F, and then just west of Highway 16 all the way to about Elmhurst Road. So a hefty ride through those areas. Of course, we got our roadwork construction delays on 41 southbound from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive, northbound from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
We have a WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alert. The National Weather Service just expired Dodge and Fond du Lac County's thunderstorm warning, but we do want to tell you Sheboygan County has a severe thunderstorm warning going for the next 15 minutes at least. Tonight, wind gusts could reach 30 miles an hour and farther showers north. The low will be 52 degrees. Tomorrow, slight chance of showers throughout the day, mainly north, partly cloudy, a high of 64. Sunday, it'll be sunny and clear, a high of 50 degrees. Monday, cloudy, a chance of evening showers, a high of 55 degrees. Tuesday, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 56 degrees.
Pope Leo XIV has not been Pope for very long, and we're learning more about his circle of friends and people that he knows. And one of those friends is a guy that lives in Waukesha. His name is John Doherty, and he has been friends with Pope Leo for 50 years, and he is with us this afternoon. John, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thanks for calling me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so you and I had made plans to talk several days ago, and now I understand you got an email from the Pope just today, last night. Tell me about the email you just got from the Pope.
Well, when he became Pope, I sent him an email and I congratulated him, and I said, God bless Pope Leo XIV, and so on. And I said, God be with you, Bob. I called him Bob. I wasn't thinking. I said, your friend John. And I thought, well, I'm not going to hear from him again because he's one of the most famous people on earth now. And last night I'm going through my email, and there's an email from Robert Prevost. And he said, many thanks, John. Best wishes. God's peace be with you, Leo XIV. I picked myself up off the floor and dusted myself off and made sure I wasn't dreaming. And I had to call my brother right away. And I was just stunned that he took the time to do that. I was amazed.
Wow. How does it feel to say you are friends with maybe the most famous man in the world?
To be honest, I think this is one of the best things that ever happened to me. I like this more than winning the lottery, to be honest. It's just amazing to me, and I just feel real lucky that I met this man, and the way I met him was through luck, really.
Tell me about it. How did you meet?
Well, years ago, I was a young guy, a kid, and I wanted to go to the seminary and become a priest. But I didn't know anything about the orders or becoming a priest other than what I'd see at Mass. So I went to a Catholic magazine and looked in the back where they had a list of all the seminaries, and they were all in alphabetical order, and the first one in the list was the Augustinians. So that's the one I picked, and I went out there, visited the school, and decided, well, that's where I'll go. And that's how I ended up being at the same school with Bob Prevost, who later became Pope Leo. It was just by chance. And
what was he like? Was he a funny guy? Was he a fun guy? What was he like?
Well, I'll tell you what he was like. The first year I was at school there, I liked it. I went home for Christmas, came back, and in February, my dad passed away. It was like the end of the world to me. And my grades started to fall. Remember, you're in an Augustinian seminary, and education is a huge deal. and they told me, you got to get your grades up or you're out, because that was the lifestyle. You had to be able to study well and do well. And there was a guy there who took me under his wing, and he started tutoring me at night at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And that was Bob Prevost. He was brilliant at math. He was just sharp. And he took the time when he could be relaxing and watching TV or whatever it is. He took the time to tutor me, and I made it. I got my grades up, and I made it through that high school. And that's the kind of guy he was. He was easy to get along with. He'd joke with you. He'd laugh with you. But you had a sense of respect for him, because there was something about him. He was sharp, but never arrogant about it. He never boasted about it, but he was head and shoulders above you when it came to the studies. He's just brilliant. And of course, he went on to Villanova, and then I followed him there. When I was at the seminary with him at Villanova, I decided to leave the seminary. And I went and said goodbye to him. And I gave him a little piece of paper, and on the paper I said, this autograph will be worth $100 in 10 years, joking with him, being a wise guy. And I gave that to him, and he laughed, and he kept that paper for years. I'm thinking, I don't want to go to the grave owing money to a pope, so as soon as I can, I'm going to pay him that $100.
That's amazing. Take us inside the moment when he was named Pope and you found out about it.
Well, I was sitting in front of the TV wondering, who it'll be. And I don't know if he's a priest, bishop, cardinal, whether the guy was who came out. And he said, we have a pope. And I'm waiting and waiting. It seemed like forever. And then I look and I yelled. I scared my wife. I yelled and I said, that's Bob. And I was just stunned. I never had anything like that happen. I never felt like that before. It was just amazing to me. And there he is, Bob Prevost, the guy I was with in the seminary over 50 years ago. And boy, talk about elation. That was just fantastic.
So most of us will never get to know him. We'll never get to meet him. What's the most special thing about your friend, Pope Leo?
He was a down-to-earth guy, and he would treat you like he knew you forever. He'd treat you like a friend, and you could get along with him easily. There wasn't anything pompous about him or anything like that. He just a very friendly person, and you could see in him that he had kind of this fire. There was a prayer at the seminary from St. Augustine, and it was, our hearts are restless until we rest in you, my God. And that's how he was. He was anxious to go and help people and serve people, and I would follow his vocation. I saw when he became the prior general of the Worldwide Order of Augustinians, I thought, oh, wow, he's reached the highlight of his life as a priest. And then, of course, he went to Peru and became a bishop. And then I thought again, now he's a bishop. That's the highlight. That's the highest he'll ever be. And that's fantastic. And then he was called to Rome, and he became the prefect of the dicastery of bishops. And he was talking to the Pope every week, and the Pope made him a cardinal. And I thought, oh, my gosh, that's fantastic. That's the highlight. And of course, finally he's Pope, and, that just blew my mind. I never expected that. And I know when he became cardinal, he emailed me. I congratulated him, and he emailed me back, and he said he never expected that from the Pope. He was surprised. So,
will you and your wife go see him in Rome?
Oh, I'd like to, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be able to see him or not. I mean, it's one thing to get an email, but I'm sure going to try. And even if I have to be 3 miles away in the crowd, I don't care. I just want to see him, even if I need a telescope to see him. I just am thrilled by this. And who knows, maybe he'll come to the United States again. The last time I saw him was last August 2024, down in New Lenox, Illinois, at a parish there. And he gave a talk to people, and he said he wasn't sure if anyone would show up. Well, the church was just packed, huge number of people there. So I thought it was funny that he didn't think people were interested in him.
They're interested
They sure
now.
were. Oh yeah. And I know the Augustinians are really thrilled too. Yeah.
John Doherty is with us from Waukesha County. He is a friend of Pope Leo the 14th and has been for a very long time. Great to catch up, John. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Well, thank you for contacting me, and I'm glad you took this story, and I hope everybody out there prays for the Pope.
Yep. I like that
John,
sentiment.
that was amazing.
Yeah, what a great guy, huh? It is 4:56.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Kohl's Corporation's shareholders approve in preliminary voting the reappointment of 8 members to the company's board of directors. The board's number of members decreased after former CEO Ashley Buchanan was fired on April 30th, and the former board member Christine Day resigned May 5th. Both were originally up for a vote on board positions before their departures. Tennessee-based LifePoint Health breaks ground on a new inpatient rehabilitation hospital in Oak Creek. The 58,000-square-foot, 40-bed hospital is expected to open in the summer of 2026. Enerpac Tool Group unveils its new headquarters in downtown Milwaukee. The new offices are on the Milwaukee River in historic Gimbel's department store building that was known in recent years as the ASQ Center. I'm Linda Spice for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at this newly renovated Milwaukee icon. Enjoy fine dining at acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of Adam, the automobile dealers of Metro Milwaukee. I want to thank all the participating new car member dealers, and especially all of you who helped us recently present a check to Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin for over $72,000 just by having your oil changed at an Adam member dealer. The donation provided over 220,000 healthy meals to those in need. Thank you again for changing your oil and changing lives.
Hey, are you sick of not always being your bank's top priority? Don't settle for that. Don't let it happen. John Mercure here for Town Bank. They take a different approach to banking. They're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals, and they're right in your backyard. I used to be at a bank where I felt like I just didn't matter. Couldn't get the stuff I wanted. Bad customer service, really big bank here in town, but not big on taking care of people. I switched to Town Bank several years ago, and they are quite simply the best. Best banking solutions, best customer service, including incredible online customer service, which you'll need at some point or another. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, they have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at townbank.us. It's Town Bank all the way. I love the guys at Town Bank. At my bank, it's Dan's the leader, Matt's big time, Big Tony is bigger time. It is incredible. It's Town Bank, different approach, better results, member FDIC, equal housing lender. It's Town Bank.
What do your favorite vacation, investment portfolio, and backyard all have in common? The perfect theme for your next call to Outdoor Living Unlimited for a new dream backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited can bring your best vacation to your backyard and show you what a worthwhile investment back into your own property can look like. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and a must-see automated pergola? Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design your new space, build your new space, and you can relax in style at home. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Active Liver is the easy way to get a daily detox to keep you healthy and feeling your best. Find Active Liver at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
The Brewers are back in town for the other I-94 series.
Contreras fly ball deep right field. This is way, way back. Watch this baby fly. Goodbye.
Our coverage against the Twins starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up on your home for the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story, removing more than debris in Dodge County.
I'm Julia Fellow. Another school free of lead.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound 41, right about at Watertown Plank Road. We've got the center lane blocked with some debris, so heads up with that. The northbound side is backed out from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Hampton, almost to Silver Spring. The delays along the southbound side start around Good Hope Road. Don't really let up until you get past the debris there. Northbound on 43, backing up through the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing from Hampton down through the Marquette onto the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. And on the bypass, we've got southbound backing up from Beloit Road down through the Hale onto 894 eastbound to around 76th Street. The westbound side slowing from 27th all the way to about 76th as well. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, chance for rain north, a low of 52 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 64. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, extensive damage just south of the Fox Valley after a string of severe storms and tornadoes tore through Dodge County yesterday. The sheriff there tells us he and other first responders worked through the night to get a jump on cleanup.
And in the midst of all that, we had a house that collapsed, that an individual was trapped inside his house.
Schmidt says it took extensive resources to get the man removed from the home, but he was able to escape.
Firefighters and I went to the house, so I got inside. We were able to get him out of the house and in an ambulance off to the hospital. Very minor injuries, but we still needed to get him checked out considering his roof was ripped off of his house.
The National Weather Service believes at least 2 tornadoes tore through Dodge County.
WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen tells us that the storms also produce abnormally large-sized hail.
Nearly every storm we saw last night produced a lot of hail, and some of the strongest storms produced hail as big as 2 inches in diameter. That is not a common occurrence.
Copleen says the rain moving through southeast Wisconsin right now will not amount to much more than your typical spring thunderstorm.
Republican infighting threatening the GOP's plan to make the Trump tax cuts permanent and impose significant changes to Medicaid. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Several Republicans say the big, beautiful bill still needs work. 5 of them voted against advancing the measure in the House Budget Committee. South Carolina's Ralph Norman says it doesn't cut enough.
I'm tired of smoking mirrors.
Further complicating matters for House Speaker Mike Johnson, GOP moderates opposed the bill, saying it doesn't do enough to restore the state and local tax deduction. Facing a self-imposed Memorial Day deadline for passage in the House, Johnson will need to achieve near unanimity in his conference to get the measure into the Senate. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
The Milwaukee Health Department says STARM's Early Childhood Center passed lead clearance testing this week. On Tuesday, those students may stay at STARM's Discovery Learning Center for the time being. Remediation continuing still at La Follette School and both Brown Street and West Side Academies.
Coming up, one of America's largest breakfast companies in hot water.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Yeah, when you say your Hassellus mattress showrooms are employee-free, you don't really mean it, right?
Of course we mean it. No employees. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Why no employees?
To save you money.
How much money?
Well, others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove B Queen for $16.59, but the everyday Hassellus price is just $8.42.
Whoa, Nelly.
We also have way low pricing on our selection of Sealy Posturepedic and more.
Well, that's pretty good.
And through Monday, purchase a select Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress in any size and receive a free adjustable base.
That's exceptionally good.
Plus, free next day delivery, removal and setup of your new mattress, and free financing is available too.
All because your showrooms are employee-free?
Yes, sir.
I like the way you do business.
Get a free adjustable base now through Monday at Hassellus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Get all the details and find the self-service employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:07.
General Mills facing a lawsuit accusing it of misrepresenting its breakfast cereal as healthy. News Nation's Xavier Walton.
Texas Attorney General essentially accusing General Mills of illegally misrepresenting some of its most popular products as healthy. We picked up a box of Lucky Charms. And when you look at some of these ingredients like trisodium phosphate, yellow 5 and 6, blue 1, red 40, health officials would say, you know what, those aren't necessarily the healthiest things to actually put inside your body.
Cereals named in the lawsuit include Trix and Lucky Charms.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers begin a 6-game homestand against the Twins tonight. It's one of 3. Coverage begins with Brewers warm-up following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time approaching 5:08.
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano from Wisconsin's Morning News. It's baseball season, which means Brewers 360 is back every day at 8:40. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Every day, all season long, we're joined exclusively by Brewers guests, including manager Pat Murphy and more. So Murphy, as we're wrapping up our interview.
Great talking. We really enjoyed it, okay?
I was like, you did? Is he just in a good mood, or what'd y'all do to Murph?
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Hey, John Mercure here for Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Bella and Baxter, my corgis are better behaved thanks to Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Sit Mean Sit is the best because here's the deal. You go in, you're already worried about your dog. You're uncertain if you'll get them to learn and do what you want them to do. At Sit Mean Sit, they're pros at this. They make it easy. They make it quick. Best trainers, best techniques, Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Matt and his teams, they know what they're doing, and they let you feel like you know what you're doing. My dogs are more happy, confident, and obedient thanks to Sit Mean Sit Dog Training.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, happy Friday. Glad you're with us.
Let's go.
On Fridays, let's do this.
In case you missed it.
There you go.
Dateline New Berlin.
Hello.
A customer there goes into a Goodwill. The customer's looking for, a vase. They're in that kind of section of the store. They pick up something that's the size of a salt and pepper shaker. Looks like a small vase. They take it, they're checking it out, and suddenly some powder comes out of the vase. They realize that, oh my God, this isn't a vase, this is an urn.
Oh my.
And there are ashes inside the urn sitting on the shelf at New Berlin.
How was this not checked?
I don't know, but it got all over them. It got in their hair.
What?
Grandma's all over somebody in New Berlin. They take it up to the front, and the people there go, yeah, we think it's ashes. That's an urn. We're really sorry. They turn into the police department. They're now working with funeral homes and others to find out whose grandma got spilled all over Betsy inside the Goodwill.
In case you missed it.
Do you blindly trust your navigation system?
Yes.
Me too. Well, be aware of this. Last Friday, a driver flew off an unfinished bridge 4 stories high after following Google Maps a bit too closely in Indonesia.
This is worse than the ashes in the urn.
The people are okay. But the driver told police he was confused by the changing directions, and he just drove right past security barriers and drove off the edge of an unfinished bridge. 40-foot drop. Fell onto a 3-lane highway, nearly hit a motorcyclist, but the person was able to stop. Nobody hurt, amazingly. The passenger has vowed not to get back in the car with the man ever again.
That seems about right. That tracks.
In case you missed it.
All right. So how many times have you gotten an invitation for a wedding and said, oh, this is a nice invitation. That's very pretty.
Oh, yeah.
How about a loaf of bread?
Is the invite?
Yeah. Yes.
Is it like
this
toasted
couple has
onto the
gone?
bread?
They've gone viral for their unique wedding invitations, and people are eating it up. I did not write that.
Yes.
They wanted to experience something a little bit more different. Instead of doing paper, they would kind of toss it about or just forget about them. It's just a waste of resources. This way, people could enjoy the invitation. Each invite was a tall loaf of white bread stamped with the couple's wedding logo on the side and wrapped in plastic so the logo was visible. And the wedding information is typically included in an invite, such as date, venue, etc., were printed on a cardboard component of the packaging. So you're still printing it out on paper, as I don't understand.
Yeah.
Shockingly, the content creator that shared this on TikTok shared that the breading invitation was much cheaper than a traditional paper invite.
I believe that.
Who knew? So there you go. Just, butter it up and off you go.
All right. Rubik's Cubes can take hours or even days at a time to solve, but one engineering group has created a Rubik's Cube solving machine with the fastest solve time ever. On record, the fastest time a human has been able to solve a Rubik's Cube is 3.05 seconds.
What?
With many other speed cubers trying to reduce that time every day. But on the engineering side of things, solving a cube can happen in an instant. Engineering students at Purdue University designed and built their puzzle-solving robot, which they dubbed Purdubik's Cube. How fast can the Purdubik's Cube solve a cube? It only takes 103 milliseconds.
That's impossible.
Keep
How's
in
that
mind, the
physically
blinking
possible?
of a human eye takes between 200 to 300 milliseconds.
Whoa.
In case you missed it.
Happy Friday, everybody. It is 5:13 at WTMJ.
Every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Oh my gosh, it's Friday. I love Friday because I get to tap into my Otto's purchases for the week.
What are you
That sounds
having?
good. That sounded like an IPA right there. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe actually old school, old fashioned.
Ooh,
Michelle
nice.
makes great old fashions. We buy all the ingredients at Otto's. I haven't had an old fashioned in quite a while. I think that's the play tonight. Best selection, best value at Otto's. All the ingredients for those old fashions, beer, wine, friendly staff because they're employee owned in Milwaukee since 1945. At Otto's, they will beat any advertised price. It's Wisconsin strong. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last?
Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement.
We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC, Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here, and I am so excited because Kohler Services just transformed my old bathtub into a beautiful new Luxstone shower. Kohler Services made it super easy. They came to my home, they helped me design my custom shower, and when they were ready to do the installation, they hauled away my old tub. Stephen, Luke, and Will, they were focused, professional, cleaned everything up afterwards like they were never there. Super professional installers. I'd recommend them to anyone. Now, you can request your free quote for a custom Kohler Luxstone shower by visiting KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
While you may take pride in seeing double,
You must be seeing things.
that can make it pretty hard to hit our stuff.
Mears throws. Struck him out swinging. Mears goes 1, 2, 3 through the Mets in the 7th.
The Brewers host the Twins for a 3-game series.
Time to stretch in Milwaukee.
This series is sponsored by Woodman's. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Traffic and weather with our Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Issue on 41 northbound at Watertown Plank Road. The left shoulder is blocked with a crash, so watch out for that. Delays continue northbound all the way up to about Capitol, actually make that Silver Spring. The southbound side slowing down from Good Hope Road all the way down past Burleigh. Southbound 43 also seeing some pretty hefty delays from Hampton all the way down through the Marquette over the high-rise bridge to the KK River. Northbound's backed up from the Marquette up to Keefe. And then 175 Appleton Avenue really slowing down, basically from Burleigh down past and where it turns into Lisbon Avenue all the way to about North Avenue. Just pretty heavy delays through that area. Westbound 94 backing up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then from Highway 100 in patches all the way past Brookfield Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, chance for showers mostly north, a low of 52. There is rain right now west of Milwaukee, but that will clear out except for the north. Tomorrow, showers north, a high of 64. Sunday, sunny 65. On Monday, partly cloudy, a high of 60. On Tuesday, chance for rain, a high of 58 degrees. Okay. You know I love lists.
Me too.
The list is out of the 10 most popular baby names in Wisconsin.
Oh, fun.
As administered by the Social Security Administration. So official names, they go through all the data.
Is Emma on there?
So you want girls first? Emma's on there. Yes.
Oh, okay.
She's sliding down a little bit, though. Wasn't she always number one or two for a long time?
For a while.
So let's go through the rest of the girls.
Okay.
You want to guess a couple more? What else do you think is on there
Charlotte.
for girls? Ding, ding, ding. You picked the big winner.
Really?
Charlotte is number one in Wisconsin.
Really?
Good call. Yeah.
Am I psychic?
You know your stuff. Nice. Charlotte's number one. Who else do you think might be on there?
Lauren?
Lauren's not on there.
Okay. Olivia.
Olivia was my guess, too, and she's number 2.
Ooh.
Olivia's 2. So here are the others. Lainey is number 10.
What's that?
Lainey. Sophia is number 9. Nora is 8. Violet is 7 on the list for the first time in many, many, many years. Eleanor is 6. Emma's 5.
Eleanor.
Followed by Amelia. Evelyn is number 3. And then Olivia and Charlotte. All right,
Charlotte.
boys. Most popular boy names in Wisconsin.
Jacob.
Jacob is not on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like Jacob has always traditionally been on there, too. Here we go.
Okay.
Number 10 is Hudson.
All right.
Hudson. That's
All
kind
right.
of a nice name. Number 9 is William, old school. 8 is Levi. 7 is Owen. 6 is James. James, the last few years, has been making a comeback on these lists. Very traditional.
Little Jimmy.
Jimmy. Number 5 is Noah. Doesn't Bilstead has a son named Noah?
That's a beautiful name.
That's a cool name. Number 4 is Theodore. Number 3 is Liam. That's been popular for several years.
Theodore Teddy.
Yeah, so we have a Jimmy and a Teddy. Number 2 is Henry.
Do we have a Timmy?
No Timmy. The most popular boy's name in Wisconsin is Oliver. So Oliver and Henry are 1 and 2 for boys. Charlotte and Olivia 1 and 2 for girls.
Cute.
Yeah. It is 5:19 at WTMJ. Our podcast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. They take care of our podcast for all your family's needs. Check out Dave Drake Camp.
Anybody out there like political ads? I already know your answer, and it's because a lot of them are bad. Phony dialogue with the sound effects of a diner in the background, dramatic voiceovers with scary music that changes into happy, hopeful music when the candidate being pushed is described. Whatever happened to an honest pitch from a candidate that doesn't sound like they're reading, but rather expressing their genuine passion to bring about change? Use us and we'll drive that home, and voters will believe you. Anderson-Smith.com. We will help you win in the next election. Making a big advertising budget work? To us, that's easy. We feel that our ability to make small advertising budgets work in a big way truly demonstrates we really do know what we're doing. And that's why we should talk. We'll take your advertising budget, put it to work, and if history tells us anything, it will be the best investment in your business that you've ever made. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because small or big budget, we help advertisers get better results.
Hey, John Mercure here with my friend Jay Saunders, the PR manager at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. All right, Jay, we talk about a lot of different things at Potawatomi, but today you wanted to talk about naming a cat?
You got it, John. And we want your help and the great listeners of WTMJ to help us out. Rugi, our Asian cuisine restaurant, is getting a new mascot. It's a huge cat, which in Asian cultures is often viewed as a symbol of good fortune. The big cat's going to need a name. That's where you come in. So Friday, May 22nd at 3, we're going to hoist the cat into place and celebrate with food and drink specials, giveaways, and more. And if you go to our social media platforms after that, you can submit your idea for the cat's name, and the winner gets Rugi for an entire year.
Whoa, that sounds fantastic. And speaking of fantastic, a former Packers player's going to be at Potawatomi?
You know, we're thrilled to announce John Kuhn is the new ambassador at Potawatomi Sportsbook, and he has his own menu item. It's the John Kuhn fullback platter, 5 amazing appetizers on one plate, including some Philly cheesesteak sliders, some cheese curds. A perfect excuse, as if you needed one, to stop by the Sportsbook. In fact, the Brewers are home this weekend to face the Twins, so come on in and watch the games.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea, and that big, huge screen out there. All right, what else is happening around the casino?
You know, we've got a couple of great new promotions running right now where you can win big money. Go on a quest for unreal treasures by playing your favorite slot machines. Use your rewards card to play on, and on Thursday nights, you can be one of 40 winners of a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. And on Saturdays, we got the Gold Breaker. You can win $10,000 just by playing your favorite slot machine. No drawings, just a random shot at $10,000. And we're excited to tell you that Brian Christopher, he's a huge gaming social media influencer, really popular on YouTube and TikTok. He's going to be at Potawatomi next month, and including a meet and greet with fans.
For more information, check out Potawatomi.com. Jay Saunders, the PR manager at Potawatomi. Thank you so much, Jay.
Thanks, John.
The website is Potawatomi.com. Check it out.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Yeah, big truck day is downtown this weekend. Basically, Milwaukee Department of Public Works and other city entities, including police and fire, clean out the garage if it's big and it's cool. They roll it into Red Arrow Park and let the kids climb around on it. It's an event organized by Milwaukee Downtown, and Vince Vetrano spoke with Bid 21's Chief Operating Officer, Erica Green.
Sometimes I think she only loves me for my big truck.
This is the biggest big truck day of all time. Why is it the biggest?
Since we've never had a bigger big truck day. It's because we have more trucks and vehicles than ever from across the city, including DPW trucks, trucks from the fire department, the police department, our transit system, even the library park.
So not necessarily trucks. They're just big old vehicles.
You can definitely expect some trucks too, but lots of different kinds of vehicles as well, including you may see some interesting ways of getting around. Some mounted horse patrol will be there as well from our police department. So
it sounds like you got together like anything that would kind of be cool looking that people might like to either climb on or learn more about.
Exactly. And, you know, we have an interesting addition this year, which I'm really looking forward to. The city's forestry team is bringing a tree climbing rig. So they'll be demoing how they climb trees when they're out in the community. So kids will get to watch them scale a tree at Red Arrow.
Erica Green with Milwaukee Downtown is with us this morning. Big truck day coming up on Saturday. Big equipment here. You have to shut the streets down, right?
Absolutely. So our streets will be shut down bordering Red Arrow Park. Along those streets is where you'll find all the trucks, all the vehicles, and then within the park, plenty of family-friendly programming.
Obviously, tons of kids, right?
Absolutely. So we see lots of kids and families. That is probably our favorite part of the event, is seeing kids and families gather downtown. Generally, we see kids in age 2 to 10, although there is something for everyone at Big Truck Day.
You got some kids in their 70s.
Exactly. Plenty of big kids who enjoy exploring big rigs.
As you mentioned, you have vehicles coming from many different entities.
I have to give a huge shout out to the City of Milwaukee Department of Public Works, who coordinates bringing all of their trucks. These are real city trucks that are out doing work in our city streets. The cool thing about Big Truck Day is that it is leading into National Public Works Week. This is a national day to celebrate the public works staff who really keep our communities thriving and running.
Big Truck Day is downtown at Red Arrow Park Saturday. Erica Green is with Milwaukee Downtown, bid number 21. Seeing also you have, and this is so important for parents with children who maybe don't like loud noises, maybe they have diagnosed sensory issues as well. You have a special time for them to come where we're going to keep the noise to a minimum?
You got it. So in the first 2 hours of the event from roughly 11 to 1, expect to hear some honking, some sirens. Kids are allowed to test those things while they're in those trucks and vehicles. Then for the last hour from 1 to 2, sensory friendly, no sirens, nothing loud. It's a little bit more of a peaceful environment.
If you're shutting streets down, where am I supposed to park?
Absolutely. We're very grateful the city provides $3 parking at the 1000 North Water lot. So enter on Market Street, no code necessary. Feel free to park your car there and then go check out some other vehicles. Everything free. Face painting, bubble play, crafts, photo ops with some special surprise hero pups. Really lots of free family fun within the park as well. So come for the day, enjoy the trucks, and then enjoy a lot of freebies throughout as well.
Your various carnival type accoutrement.
Exactly, but truck themed. I'll also mention we've got 1,000 giveaways. So we'll be giving away 1,000 kid-sized construction hats as well as some construction-themed goodie bags. So lots of fun and freebies.
Big Truck Day tomorrow, Red Arrow Park in Milwaukee from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's free for those who love big trucks, but not so much the noise. They're going to quiet things down. The sensory-friendly hour is from 1 to 2. That's pretty cool, especially if you got kids. That could be a lot of fun. It is 5:27 at WTMJ. Let's check out those markets on the Friday. A great week ended with a big, strong day. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow was up another 332 today. That's more than 0.75%. The NASDAQ was up 99 points today. That's more than 0.5%. And the S&P 500 rose 42 points. That is almost 0.75%. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today is Jeff Zalazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, you're always trying to keep us current, so let's talk about the impact inflation is having on the insurance market today.
Sure, Vince. Great to be here. This is really an important point. Inflation has been persistent really since 2021. And when you look at the cumulative effects of inflation, it can be problematic in a number of ways. Building materials, auto repair parts, and labor are all materially more expensive today than they were just a few years ago. Inflation erodes the limits of your insurance as well. Your property insurance limit, your liability insurance limit, and even your umbrella insurance limit. I heard an executive the other day in our industry say that inflation is the kryptonite of insurance. What he meant was inflation is diluting the value of your insurance policies. Your limits need to be evaluated regularly.
So just being underinsured as a result of this cumulative years of inflation, that's a real risk right now.
Absolutely, Vince. If you're underinsured, and some studies suggest that over 50% of individuals and businesses could be underinsured, if there's an event where you need those insurance policies to respond, you could be at risk. Think of a fire, a tornado, an auto accident, or you get sued.
So why should businesses or families work with R&R Insurance?
At R&R Insurance, we understand complex, dynamic issues like calculating proper limits of insurance and inflation and how they impact your business. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to sit down and speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, picking up the pieces in between the raindrops.
I'm Julia Fellow. A social media miscue by the former head of the FBI.
I'm Debbie Loziga, northbound on 41, right about at Watertown Plank Road. We still have the left shoulder blocked with a crash, slowing all the way up past Hampton Avenue to get past that stuff. The southbound side is going to be slow from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol as well. Southbound 43 backing up from before Capitol Drive all the way past the Marquette. Northbound's backing up from the Marquette up to Keith. And then on westbound 94, backing up a little bit just past 27th Street. You're back on the brakes from Highway 100 all the way to Calhoun. And then again, just past Highway F towards Highway 164. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A Fleet Farm Storm Team alert. We have another thunderstorm warning about severe thunderstorms in Fond du Lac County until 5:45. Please be weather aware. A chance of showers will continue far north, mostly cloudy and windy for the rest of us. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour, very windy, a low of 52. Tomorrow, a slight chance of showers to our north, partly cloudy, a high of 64 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's mostly cloudy and 74 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a long road to recovery for Dodge County following severe weather and multiple tornadoes. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt says he and first responders have been out helping clean up debris since the overnight hours. He joined Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
That were off duty. Then it was getting up and down the streets, checking on people. So that's what we did. Once I had everybody ordered in, we got our command staff in place, organizing, shutting down streets. The next order was going door to door and checking on people.
Schmidt says he's thankful no deaths were reported following the storms.
A Mayville man witnessed one of the tornadoes.
Tom Bleeker was outside with his son when he noticed something eerie.
When I saw the sky kind of change to a greenish color, I told my son, I was like, we got to go inside.
They ran into their house and soon after saw the twister. Bleeker tells me it tore through the back of his property and hit the neighbor's house.
They lost a good chunk of their roof, a lot of their siding. All the windows are broken. I mean, some of the windows, even the framework came out. It looks like their garage got leveled, and there's debris all the way across the field behind them.
The tornado also damaged another neighbor's barn.
You can't even tell that there was ever a barn there.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Could take several days for weather experts to know the extent of the storms. The National Weather Service says it has meteorologists on the ground today. Craig Copleen tells us Thursday's storms left a precarious path.
We had the one particular tornadic thunderstorm that I don't necessarily know was producing a single tornado that was on the ground the entire trek. And what I think we had happen is one or more tornadoes sort of went up and down multiple times during that storm's journey.
The National Weather Service has not yet confirmed the number of tornadoes.
A Milwaukee alderman wants to tighten security following a false alarm at City Hall.
The City Hall complex was evacuated Thursday afternoon after a door slam was mistaken for gunfire. Alderman Lamont Westmoreland has security concerns.
This is wild how open this building is, how easy it is for anybody to walk through there with their weapon of choice.
He tells Wisconsin's Morning News City Hall needs metal detectors.
It's not going to be cheap to do something like this, but I think it's something that we need to look into because God forbid something happens, I can guarantee you after that there will be something in place.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Breaking news this afternoon, the Supreme Court is furthering its pause on the Trump administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act to remove alleged members of an international gang. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
In an unsigned opinion, the Supreme Court says it has long held that no one should be deported from the U.S. without a chance to challenge their removal. This 7-2 decision says detainees must have sufficient time and information to contact a lawyer and to file a petition in court. The majority says 24 hours notice without guidance as to how detainees can contest their removal surely does not pass muster. But the High Court says it won't set a specific timetable, sending the case back down to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals to work out the details.
The ruling did not rule whether or not the act had been applied correctly.
Republican infighting threatening the GOP's plan to make Trump's tax cuts permanent and impose the big, beautiful bill, changes to Medicaid and other safety net programs to cut a lot of spending. And also, it failed to get enough votes to get out of committee today after 5 Republicans voted against it. House Speaker will likely be working through the weekend to try to muster enough support for this bill to give tax relief to people.
Authorities in Northern California are praising a young gamer from Tennessee who may have prevented a school attack.
The Tennessee boy alerted police in Tehama County, California, after being in an online chat site with 2 teenagers who were allegedly planning a mass school shooting. Tehama County Sheriff Dave Kane.
The suspect and the accomplice have previously planned on executing the attack on the school on May 9th before one of them backed out.
Investigators say a 14 and a 15-year-old boy hoped to kill upwards of 100 people at a school in Cottonwood, California, after killing one set of their parents. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Baseball will be back on the airwaves tonight. The Brewers and Twins square up at AmFam Field for the first time of a 3-game weekend series. The Brewers have been playing .500 baseball over their last 10 games, while the Twins have won 11 straight. Coverage of tonight's game starts right after the 6 o'clock news.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:35.
Save big on your next landscaping project at Menards. We make landscaping simple with our free, easy-to-use design program and step-by-step project guides. Plus, we have the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape blocks at the best prices. Save big on our 12-inch smooth patio blocks on sale now. Stop in to see our full selection and get your project started. Check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. I've got their water softener. They're delivering the salt next week, and they bring it right down to the basement. I've got their RO system. It means it filters our water. It's crisp, clean, clear. Even the micro-contaminants are gone. Our water is good to go. Owners Sue and Rob train up their staff to just be kind. They're gentle. They're efficient. They always do things the right way because they know at Guthrie and Fry that better water makes a big, big difference. Outstanding people, kind-hearted professional, comprehensive solutions, fixed rental rates that are super affordable. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie and Fry.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky is with us this afternoon. He's caught his breath. He's back in the saddle. Hey, Niz.
Yo, what's up, guys? Thought we were going to get a rest today, but we've had some pesky little storms again.
Yeah, it hasn't been terrible. Before we get to today, last night you worked a very long day. You came home, and I want people to text the word watch and see this adorable picture that your daughter left for you. Aww. This is a cool little note. Text watch to 855-616-1620. A proud daughter sending her papa a little love note. Text watch, and you can see the note. Read it to us, Niz. What did this say?
For Dad. Dad, you are the best dad that any girl could have. You are so sweet, and you are the best weatherman. Love, Olivia.
He's the best weatherman.
Oh, that's so sweet, Brian. Isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah, it is. A couple spelling errors that I made sure to correct with her in the morning. But no, I'll never yell at her again, ever.
She's your favorite for this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so sweet. I didn't even see it until this morning because I came in and it was late and it was dark in the room and I'm not going to turn any lights on. But then I wake up and there's a note and a beer bottle next to my bed. And I'm like,
that's sweet.
Wait, what happened? No. And I know it's probably not. Yeah, this is the bad part. I mean, she's 9 years old, so she knows to go into the fridge and grab Daddy a beer. I don't know what that really says.
That's sweet, Brian. That's so sweet.
It is. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll save the beer for this weekend, but you're exactly right. I mean, that's what it's about. I've already got the note dated, and it's in my little keepsake drawer, and super cool.
Yes.
I guess the girls last night enjoyed watching television as Dad was doing the storm tracking and everything, and I'm just glad. I don't think of myself too seriously, but in moments like last night, I just hope the work that was done and the coverage that it was is the reason why, we don't have significant injuries when it looks like we had multiple tornadoes that ravaged through Dodge County.
Definitely.
No doubt about it.
Brian.
People sought shelter. That's true. The work you did is important, and I know people were nervously watching this afternoon, Niz, because storms were popping up, and there's been a couple warnings. Tell us what's going on right now.
Nowhere near the magnitude of what we dealt with yesterday. Just the ingredients aren't there. Dew points are in the 40s, 50s. We don't have the jet energy. We do have some stronger winds, though. That is a good baseline. So what happens is you get any of these little pop-up showers and storms to go. It doesn't take much. If it starts to draw down any of that stronger wind from aloft, then you could get a 50, 60 mile per hour wind gust. And that's what the National Weather Service has been thinking with these storms. However, I will say that the vast majority of these warnings we've had are borderline at best or worse, however you want to put it. Not to say that people should be running outside and, firing up the grill. Keep an eye on the sky. If you are under a severe thunderstorm warning, make sure you seek shelter immediately. We have a couple more to go that are back west of Madison, and once that clears through in a couple hours, we will be done for the evening.
All right, so that is the good news.
What
All right.
about tomorrow?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tomorrow, Julia, we got a big day tomorrow.
Yes.
In the morning.
Brian's going to MC with me the moving day for Parkinson's Foundation.
Cool.
Yeah,
at Hart Park. Thank you, Brian, for
It'll
doing
be
that.
good. Of course, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's not going to be terrible outside, but it's not going to feel like summer like we're feeling right now. I think tomorrow morning temperatures will be in the 50s and 60s. It's going to be breezy. We'll probably have some cloud cover. So sweatshirt weather for tomorrow morning. Maybe even a stray sprinkle here and there on Saturday. Then Sunday, the sunshine comes back. Mostly sunny skies, however, cool with a northeast breeze, a high 55, inland 62. Monday, slight chance of showers, still cool, 53, inland 61. And then Tuesday, looks like a soaker next week, especially Tuesday afternoon. Looks like a soggy afternoon and a high temperature only of 52 degrees. So I hope you enjoyed the summer weather. Looks like we get back to some more springtime stuff. Hey, still waiting for word from the National Weather Service on confirmations as far as ratings of the tornadoes in Dodge County. I don't want to get out ahead of them, so please don't write this down and say for sure what it is. However, given the damage that I've seen, I would say we're looking at least EF2s with the stuff up in Dodge County.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it was some pretty good damage or some pretty bad damage, however you want to look at it.
It's horrible.
Yep. And then there's a lot of other sporadic damage, and we had the hail too. There's a lot of spots that are along the lakeshore from Wind Point to Cudahy up to Sheboygan that got some really good damage. And another thing that I'll say that is not confirmed, there's a chance that maybe some of that damage were little mini spin-up tornadoes along the lake breeze that we didn't detect on radar, which is why they weren't tornado warned. The radar beam goes over the top of some of that stuff, but just given the damage in some of those spots, I wouldn't be surprised if that ended up being the confirmed outcome as well.
Interesting. Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky, have a great weekend. You've earned it, Niz.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Julia, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you, Brian.
It is 5:42 at WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days because most banks still issue pre-approval letters without actually verifying your income, employment, or down payment. That's the exact opposite of an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval, where we put a $2,000 guarantee behind the fact the seller can actually rely on the terms of your pre-approval and offer. With AccuNet, there's also a possibility of issuing a property-specific pre-approval with as little as a 10% down payment that includes the magic words, no appraisal required. That's right, AccuNet may be able to issue your pre-approval without needing an appraisal. That's the kind of certainty that can help a seller say yes to your offer. Sure, you can try competing with a flimsy bank pre-approval, or you can click on the blue button at AccuNet.com and get started with the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as the best in the business. That's ACCUNET.com.
Connect Chiropractic, they're the best, and they're even better now because they've got 3 locations. Tosa, where I go most often, Delafield, where I've been, Oak Creek, which is brand new. Connect Chiropractic, Dr. Alex and his teams focus on wellness care and helping you be able to do the things you want with no pain. I go every single week. I feel better because of it. A long-term care focus on total wellness. They help with headaches, sleep concerns, neuropathy. It's no twisting, cracking, popping. No, it's not that extreme. It's more nuanced, and it's easy, and it's gentle, and it works. It's Connect Chiropractic. Connect with Connect. It's the weekend. Take your family to the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club for a free dinner. I just might do that. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The all-you-can-eat fish fry is fabulous. I love the perch. All other dinners are buy one, get one free, including the pecan-crusted salmon, the pan-fried walleye. They've got new items on the dinner menu. Enjoy your favorite steak, seafood, pasta, even steak and lobster, prime rib on Saturday, all of that. Your second dinner is always free. Sip on an old-fashioned. They've got over 20 bourbons and 100 wines. And that old world bar, it is so fun. You'll love the Fox and Hounds all you can eat Friday fish fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free this weekend. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive, the views, the Kettle Moraine. Spectacular this time of year. Now serving lunch on Saturdays from 11 a.m. till 2. The all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch is magnificent. Tables are open. Call and reserve your free dinner or check it out. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Spring is in the air, the perfect time to kickstart those home improvement dreams. Hi, Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. They're your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient upgrades. Boost your curb appeal and add real value with top brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. All customized to fit your home and your style. Wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, they've got it all. And their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom is the place to start. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Debbie Lazaga, get us to our destination safely.
All right, northbound 43. We've got some backups because of an accident right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder, so heads up with that. Delays continue past that point all the way up to Keefe. On the southbound side, slowing from just before Capitol all the way down to Burleigh. And then we've got southbound 41, very heavy from Good Hope Road all the way down to about Burleigh. Northbound slowing down. We do still have this crash on the left shoulder on northbound 41 right about at Watertown Plank Road. So just heads up with that. Delays continue past that all the way up to Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Pope Leo XIV has not been Pope for very long, and we're learning more about his circle of friends and people that he knows. And one of those friends is a guy that lives in Waukesha. His name is John Doherty, and he has been friends with Pope Leo for 50 years. And he is with us this afternoon. John, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thanks for calling me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so you and I had made plans to talk several days ago, and now I understand you got an email from the Pope just today, last night. Tell me about the email you just got from the Pope.
Well, when he became Pope, I sent him an email, and I congratulated him, and I said, God bless Pope Leo XIV, and so on, and I said, God be with you, Bob. I called him Bob. I wasn't thinking. I said, your friend John. And I thought, well, I'm not going to hear from him again because he's one of the most famous people on earth now. And last night I'm going through my email, and there's an email from Robert Prevost. And he said, many thanks, John. Best wishes. God's peace be with you, Leo XIV. I picked myself up off the floor and dusted myself off and made sure I wasn't dreaming, and I had to call my brother right away, and I was just stunned that he took the time to do that. I was amazed.
Wow. How does it feel to say you are friends with maybe the most famous man in the world?
To be honest, I think this is one of the best things that ever happened to me. I like this more than winning the lottery, to be honest. It's just amazing to me, and I just feel real lucky that I met this man, and the way I met him was through luck, really.
Tell me about it. How did you meet?
Well, years ago, I was a young guy, kid, and I wanted to go to the seminary and become a priest. But I didn't know anything about the orders or becoming a priest other than what I'd see at Mass. So I went to a Catholic magazine and looked in the back where they had a list of all the seminaries, and they were all in alphabetical order, and the first one in the list was the Augustinians. So that's the one I picked, and I went out there, visited the school, and decided, well, that's where I'll go. And that's how I ended up being at the same school with Bob Prevost, who later became Pope Leo. It was just by chance.
What was he like? Was he a funny guy? Was he a fun guy? What was he like?
Well, I'll tell you what he was like. The first year I was at school there, I liked it. I went home for Christmas, came back, and in February, my dad passed away. It was like the end of the world to me, and my grades started to fall. Remember, you're in an Augustinian seminary, and education is a huge deal. And they told me, you got to get your grades up or you're out, because that was the lifestyle. You had to be able to study well and do well. And there was a guy there who took me under his wing, and he started tutoring me at night, at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And that was Bob Prevost. He was brilliant at math. He was just sharp. And he took the time when he could be relaxing and watching TV or whatever it is. He took the time to tutor me, and I made it. I got my grades up, and I made it through that high school. And that's the kind of guy he was. He was easy to get along with. He'd joke with you. He'd laugh with you. But you had a sense of respect for him, because there was something about him. He was sharp, but never arrogant about it. He never boasted about it, but he was head and shoulders above you when it came to the studies. He's just brilliant. And, of course, he went on to Villanova, and then I followed him there. When I was at the seminary with him at Villanova, I decided to leave the seminary. And I went and said goodbye to him. And I gave him a little piece of paper, and on the paper I said, this autograph will be worth $100 in 10 years, joking with him, being a wise guy. And I gave that to him, and he laughed, and he kept that paper for years. I'm thinking, I don't want to go to the grave owing money to a pope, so as soon as I can, I'm going to pay him that $100.
That's amazing. Take us inside the moment when he was named Pope and you found out about it.
Well, I was sitting in front of the TV wondering, who it'll be. And I don't know if he's a priest, bishop, cardinal, whether the guy was who came out. And he said, we have a pope, and I'm waiting and waiting. It seemed like forever. And then I look, and I yelled. I scared my wife. I yelled, and I said, that's Bob. And I was just stunned. I never had anything like that happen. I never felt like that before. It was just amazing to me. And there he is, Bob Prevost, the guy I was with in the seminary over 50 years ago. And boy, talk about elation. That was just fantastic.
So most of us will never get to know him. We'll never get to meet him. What's the most special thing about your friend, Pope Leo?
He was a down-to-earth guy, and he would treat you like he knew you forever. He'd treat you like a friend, and you could get along with him easily. There wasn't anything pompous about him or anything like that. He just a very friendly person, and you could see in him that he had kind of this fire. There was a prayer at the seminary from St. Augustine, and it was, our hearts are restless until we rest in you, my God. And that's how he was. He was anxious to go and help people and serve people, and I would follow his vocation. I saw when he became the prior general of the Worldwide Order of Augustinians, I thought, oh, wow, he's reached the highlight of his life as a priest. And then, of course, he went to Peru and became a bishop. And then I thought again, now he's a bishop. That's the highlight. That's the highest he'll ever be. And that's fantastic. And then he was called to Rome, and he became the prefect of the dicastery of bishops. And he was talking to the Pope every week, and the Pope made him a cardinal. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. That's the highlight. And of course, finally he's Pope, and that just blew my mind. I never expected that. And I know when he became cardinal, he emailed me. I congratulated him, and he emailed me back, and he said he never expected that from the Pope. He was surprised. So,
will you and your wife go see him in Rome?
Oh, I'd like to, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be able to see him or not. I mean, it's one thing to get an email, but I'm sure going to try. And even if I have to be 3 miles away in the crowd, I don't care. I just want to see him, even if I need a telescope to see him. I just am thrilled by this. And who knows, maybe he'll come to the United States again. The last time I saw him was last August 2024, down in New Lenox, Illinois, at a parish there. And he gave a talk to people, and he said he wasn't sure if anyone would show up. Well, the church was just packed, huge number of people there. So I thought it was funny that he didn't think people were interested in him.
They're interested now.
Oh yeah. And I know the Augustinians are really thrilled too. Yeah.
John Doherty is with us from Waukesha County. He is a friend of Pope Leo XIV and has been for a very long time. Great to catch up, John. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Well, thank you for contacting me, and I'm glad you took this story, and I hope everybody out there prays for the Pope.
Yep. I like that
John,
sentiment.
that was amazing.
Yeah, what a great guy, huh?
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Kohl's Corporation